The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Feel Good Friday, September 2nd, 2022. And this sports show shall commence immediately following this beat drop from Twine. There it was. Here we go. Let's have a show. Football is all the way back. College football delivered in a massive fashion last night. Obviously, Penn State with a thriller late drives down the field in West Lafayette, Indiana, and gets a win over Purdue. Even though I was already sending out texts to all my friends that went to Penn State, letting them know, oh, no, you guys stink. James Franklin can't coach his way out of a fucking bag. Nice. Instead, Sean Clifford, the 45-year-old, walks right down the field, 6-7 on the final drive, touchdown, big win, and the Penn State Nittany Lions are 1-0 with a scare. The other game that took place was electrifying, I'm going to be honest. Although the outcome wasn't my favorite.
No.
Sure.
What happened?
It was a fucking hell of a game. Yeah. The Backyard Brawl was awesome. The Backyard Brawl was off for 11 years. The Backyard Brawl was missed by college football fans and football fans and just sporting fans alike for 11 years. The fact that the world wasn't able to see that game, which is always like that, by the way. I guess there's a couple been blowouts in the history, but if you go back through it, there is always electricity in the air. The fan bases don't like each other. Pitt showed up last night, by the way. Hey, congrats to the University of Pittsburgh student section and fans and alumni who are insufferable. Okay, of course, fucking insufferable. But congrats to all of them for showing up. That might be the last time Acrisure Field Stadium looks that way for a Pitt game this season. Honestly, it is not something that sells out all the time. It's off of campus. It's not easy to get to for the University of Pittsburgh. And there was reports last night that yesterday that West Virginia was going to fill up that entire fucking stadium. Yeah. They did not. Pitt showed up. That was amazing to watch. I didn't know any of the players on our team. Okay, I knew JT Daniels was going to be a guy. I knew Legg was kicking. I didn't know there was still a Sills on the team on the D-line. That's awesome. He's a guy. But I learned about a lot of players last night. C.J. Donaldson Jr., Bryce Ford Wheaton, who ultimately is going to have a rough couple days and is going to be talked about that question. He's going to be questioned about that for a long, long time. This West Virginia team didn't have high expectations going into the season, I don't think. But we got a lot of young guys. We got a fast team. We got an electrifying team. And JT Daniels seems to be a dog. I like the West Virginia team, although it stinks that they lost. Pitt got a great win. West Virginia, I think, showed up and made me a lot more happier about where the team is. And then Penn State Purdue was all the way down to the final drive. It was a magical night for college football last night. The Toxic Tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, 10 Diggs is here. Our Super Boost hit, we're undefeated on the season. Is that good, Tone? I don't know. You tell me, pal.
It's really good. I said, even if you don't like West Virginia, it's good value. 7.5. It's a key number. It's a very key number.
So I'm going to start doing, 6.5 much different than 7.5, 2.5 much different than 3.5. These are all numbers that you have to look at. So whenever it goes to 7.5, you have to like it in a rivalry game where the jitters are probably going to be there.
It was a little sloppy.
The jitters are probably going to be there. And then it's going to get it was a rivalry game. The over hit, which I don't think I expected. I thought it was going to be a lower game. But what a fucking night for college football. What a day for us.
Yeah.
Because we are being joined once again by a friend of the program. In an unprecedented fashion, this man came onto our show weekly throughout an entire NFL season. First time won an MVP.
That's right.
We ran it back for a second time. We won an MVP again.
Holy shit.
This man really wasn't known by the masses before this whole thing started. And by the touch and the blessing of the football gods, we got to hear his brain spill out through 2 fucking seasons on this show. Somehow, some way. I think mostly because of our friendship with Aaron James Hawk, who is friends with him from their time playing together. We were lucky to have these fucking convos. Now, These convos led to some interesting situations.
Big time.
These convos took us to places none of us could have expected, but these convos enlightened us on a human that is one of one, a fucking anomaly. And he is rejoining the show after a lot has happened. Conversations from his big old brain with numerous people who have obviously sparked conversation and fodder around the entire internet about what's going on in the world, not just the football world. We're lucky to be rejoined once again, ladies and gentlemen, by the back-to-back NFL MVP, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. Yeah! You look good, dude.
Yeah.
You look good, dude.
Good to you, buddy.
Hey, you look amazing. You look like you're in great shape. Look like you feel good about life. How is everything over there, man?
It's not as good as that was some fun.
I mean,
the boys that missed out on that, man, they missed out.
I agree, and we're kind of rubbing it in Ty Schmidt's face right now, because Ty couldn't come because, hey, baby. Had a baby. Tahoe was a blast. Thank you for that. Is that what it's like every single year out there in the middle of just the most beautiful place on earth that I had no idea existed?
For our group, yeah, it usually is like that.
What does that mean? What are you talking about?
For us, for those of us that stayed at the house, that's what it's all about right there.
Yeah, we missed every event.
We had a good first round too.
Yes, we did. Hey, you were fucking playing top 10 in the end of that thing. It was a great round. I'm scared to death of putting, but I mean, I don't know if and walking. I mean, what was it, 7 miles a day or something like that? I have that was a lot. I did not expect it to be that tough, Aaron. Honestly.
Well, you weren't even carrying the bag. I mean, let's give some kudos out to Connor, who actually did the real work.
The light bag.
Well, excuse me.
Hey, that guy's a dog.
Hey, dog, big bag, big straps, and we didn't empty anything out of it either. So if it ended up in there, it was staying for the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we didn't have a full champagne bottle like AJ did to his brother one year or whatever, but it was loaded in there. Connor, you're the man. Aaron, as are you. Thank you for the hospitality out there, and let's start chatting about life a little bit since then. You've done some interviews. You've said some things. The entire world has reacted. How have you heard any of this? Have you had your blinders on away from it? Have you, with training camp taking place and building a team, have you got to experience what you have, started outside of the football world? It's big, Aaron. It's fucking big. It's real life stuff.
I'm just hanging out in the light. You see this? I'm just enjoying the opportunity. It's been some fun conversations. Now, I've been on a couple podcasts and said everything I stand behind. Not a lot of questions from our local media about any of it. I haven't been asked one time about anything I said on, they rarely ask me about stuff I say on your show after you scoop them. But
Whoa. Good journalism.
Yeah, but they, haven't done any follow-ups. But there has been a lot of articles written, and what it's done is it sparked some incredible conversations for me with teammates, with people that work at the facility, coaches, players from other teams that reached out. I had great conversations with some of the Saints guys about some of the stuff that I said on Aubrey's podcast. Guys from the Chiefs and went to Kansas City. They're just really interesting conversation that I'm really happy I had the opportunity to talk about my experiences and what it meant for me and what those journeys did for me and my mental clarity and my overall happiness in life. And then getting to talk to Joe, Dr. Joe was a lot of fun as well. That was, kind of a year in the making after everything that happened last fall, and obviously, some of the guests that he had on his podcast was definitely stirring some shit up across the country.
World. And
then to go on his show and to kind of talk about what it was like last year was really cool. But a lot of stuff that we talked about every single week. I came on your show, especially after I got COVID and then subsequently COVID toe, and there was a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff through the last season that we were lucky to be a part of. But I think the reason why, and also you're on Busting with the Boys, you crushed it on there. Shout out to Will and the entire squad. But I think The reason why it gets so big, Rogan has like, I think 12 or 13 million downloads, allegedly. I mean, who knows what fairy tale numbers he has that downloads every single show, because everything that he says is heard by everybody on earth. So whenever you say change some things in the country, like there was some world policy being changed, I think, due to some of Rogan's podcasts that took place. And I think all those conversations are vital, though. Like, honestly, I believe, don't you think, and I think that's why this show is the way it is. And when I was getting attacked for giving you a platform to speak, it's like we're getting a chance to hear like how fucking Aaron Rodgers feels. This is obviously back-to-back MVP now at this point. Like, don't you think conversation is maybe one of the most powerful things of all time? Whenever we were out of Tahoe and we got to chat, it was really cool watching you, because I think a lot of people think that you're just this, oh, I know everything asshole. And that was not the case at all. Whenever I got a chance to have some like real convos with you out of Tahoe, I think evolving through it all, and then you know, partially being correct. I assume these convos with Rogan, which is from outside the football world, I don't want to say, did it feel like legitimacy, or did you feel like, was there like, I feel good about this because of how you felt the entire time? Or what was it like, going through that whole process with the world hearing you almost for the first time?
Well, it was great. And I say it again, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason.
Oh.
So often with social media, and we're all guilty of it, we speak twice as often as we listen. And in order to come together as a country and come together as people and connect, you have to listen to other people's opinions, and a lot of times opinions that you don't agree with, because the only way to test your own belief system and to have it ingrained at a deeper cellular level is to have it challenged, right? Not to live in an echo chamber where you're repeating the same things and hearing the same things and locking in the same algorithms that give you the same opinion and belief over and over and over and over again. That's how division happens, because there's absolutely zero room for people to connect and at least just listen to what you have to say. At the end of the conversation, it could be, well, I respectfully disagree with that. Awesome. But at least you listen to it. But not even having an open mind in my opinion, is the ability to take your brain to a place where you can imagine what it would be like for what that person is saying that you don't agree with to be true. In a world where that is possibly true, how can I take my mind to that place and sit with that reality? And I think it's an important lesson to learn, or skill to practice, is to listen to understand, not to listen to respond. And I was really thankful for Joe and for Aubrey for the opportunity to go on those 2, because the other ones are fun. I did Bus with the Boys and PFT and some other things, and those are but those are much shorter. I sat with Aubrey for over 2.5 hours, and Joe was over 3 hours, and both of those deeply meaningful to me. Aubrey and I's friendship is really deep and special, and the connection we have is pretty obvious when you watch that one. And then Joe was important for me. I reached out to Joe at the beginning of the pandemic and asked him, as I asked a number of other people who had COVID, what did you do to come back from COVID, and what research did you do, what medicine did you use, and how did it make you feel, and how quickly were you back? Because I thought, hey, at some point I might get COVID, and I need to be ready for it. So I talked to him and a number of other people, and a lot of the people were saying the same things to use. And then I got COVID, and obviously my world changed just a little bit. And
mine did too.
But Joe was very supportive, and it was fun to be able to go back on a show and kind of close the loop on COVID. Before I guess the world is ready to. But Joe said something I thought was really, really interesting that if you didn't hear it, I wanted to share it. But he was talking about responding to Neil Young. And Neil Young was one to take his music off of Spotify because, Joe is this purveyor of misinformation and dangerously
killing people, I believe is the.
Yeah. And he said, and Joe said, the things that are conspiracy today, or the things that are, said to be false today, could be true tomorrow. And as you're seeing with stuff from the CDC and the NIH just recently, and other policies and information that's not censored. A lot of the things that we talked about last year, that Dr. Malone talked about, that Dr. McCullough talked about, that Alex Berenson talked about, that a number of people talked about on Joe's show, turned out to be true. And that's the danger in canceling people for opinions or being so plugged into a mainstream narrative that you're just literally regurgitating information that, let's just be honest here. There's people who have a financial interest in the narrative being a certain way.
Whoa.
And a lot of us were caught up in that. Me directly, you and your guys, and I love you guys, and I'm so thankful for this platform to speak on it, but we all got caught up in it.
Love you, Aaron.
We love you too, man. We love you too, Aaron.
But there's a lot
We're
more
gonna get roasted for that.
and hopefully, through what I talked about with some of the ridiculous NFL policies last year and the discrimination, hopefully we are shining some light and furthering a conversation about how not to do what we did ever again.
Yeah, can't let that thing repeat. Obviously, as studies continue to come out, more information is released. I think there's going to be a lot of clarity on what we just experienced for an actual unprecedented 2 years of just shutting down the world. And, that I think the cool part about your conversation with old Rogan, because you two were, you were the MVP of the NFL talking about it. Rogan has the biggest show on earth talking about it. And you two kind of free thinkers, obviously, open-minded people, and also going against what is being pitched by the government and the people on the TV that you're being forced to watch basically every single day. So you two took big shots. So I think you two coming together for a show to talk about it was brilliant, awesome. And one of the best parts about it, I thought, was when you were reminding people what was actually being said at the time. Because that is something that we've talked about where, will we ever find out why and how this happened? Or will we never talk about this again? Because it's easy for something to be forgotten about if it's never chatted about. They say only the bangers survive in art or music or anything. Only the good shit survives because only the good shit is anything that people either continue to play or continue to talk about. All the bad shit drifts away. There's so much stuff that's forgotten and never chatted about if it's not a focal point of conversation by the masses. So I think you reminding how shit actually went, and I think the reason why you remember all these things is because each one of these times these things were said, you were taking more shots, as was Rogan. So I think that was a big part of that whole conversation as well as we move forward, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, you bring up a great point, and I said it on Rogan. I said, let's not revise history. Let's remember what was said, what was pushed. And that was, in the beginning, you get this shot, and you won't get COVID, and you can't transmit COVID.
Yeah.
Which we know was either an out-and-out lie, intentionally, or a statement that never should have been said, and then should have been revised.
Misinformation.
It was 100% misinformation. But those people who were saying those things weren't getting censored, were taken off of Twitter, deplatformed. But other people on the other side who were experts, had posts flagged, had their accounts suspended, taken off of social media.
Yeah.
That's the danger. Free speech is not dangerous. Censored speech is dangerous. When in the course of human history has any government ever protected its citizens by restricting speech? You can't give me an example. It's not possible. You cannot give me an example of that ever happening.
Hey, I'm on your side here, 100% what you're saying. I love free speech, love conversation, love people learning about stuff because I'm from Pittsburgh. I've gotten to meet people from all over the world and all over the country. And believe it or not, people have different views because of how they came up, what their life is, what they've experienced. It's just natural to have those conversations. An open conversation, free speech needs to happen. Even with the assholes. Hey, we need assholes to be out there so we know what not to be, too. I think that is a big part of the world right now where we get. Do you have a bug zapper in the back of your room there that you're chatting? Is that what you're giving a great answer, passionate answer? I didn't want to interrupt, but it sounded like 45 bugs were just getting slaughtered in the back at the same time.
Let's cut that and let's re-ask the question.
No, all good.
Damn coffee machine. It just goes to this
sounded like a French press.
It does sound
15 minutes after it's done pumping out coffee. So I had to
It's a coffee
slap
machine.
a couple cops while I was ready to rock and roll this morning, and
Yeah.
that jaw and just keep on punching, man.
Boom, you know, get the tank top on and really come and have a conversation.
Yeah, I wanted to make you feel as comfortable as possible because I missed you. You know, I've been talking to all these other people, and some people I really like, and some people just fun conversations. But you know, like this is my home here.
Come on, hell yeah! Come on.
Like, I just wanted to make you. I didn't have a for the brand shirt. I have this other shirt that that was gifted to me that I think you're really gonna like. But I just said, what do I want to wear today to make Pat feel the love that I feel for him?
Yeah.
Black tank, bro.
Man, you know what they say. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
That's right.
Lou Holtz just said that to Ty. Aaron, I don't know if you saw Ty was Lou Holtz for a little bit talking about the Brian Kelly situation. Lou Holtz saw it. His foundation quote tweeted it and said, save the expletives. That's exactly how I feel. So I would like to let you know I am incredibly flattered, and we are very thankful that you're back here having a conversation with us, and we've enjoyed listening to you chat. Listen, it is awesome hearing you kind of, I don't want to say introduce yourself to people, but you are. A lot of people knew fucking nothing about you. And although our show does alarmingly good, surprisingly, shockingly well, and it will end at some point. There's a lot of people that never listen to this fucking show that still think the same way about Aaron Rodgers as they had maybe before Aaron Rodgers Tuesday started 2 seasons ago. So whenever you host Jeopardy and you do all this shit and you go, anytime I think you get a chance to showcase your fucking hilariously large brain and deep thinking ass, hippie ass, I think it is awesome. Like I enjoy it so much. We love that you're back though. And we have a lot to catch up on. How you feel about football? You feel good about football? How's training camp been? Obviously with all the conversation, changing the world, reminding people of stuff, you got fucking football happening right now. How's that? Everything, life is good, huh?
Yeah, life is great, man. I got Tom Clements back in the room. We're having a blast. He's a Pittsburgh guy, you know. He might not be a West Virginia guy, but he's a Pittsburgh guy.
Uh-huh.
So he's gritty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which, by the way, West Virginia should have won that game last night.
Yeah, Aaron.
I mean, they had a completion there that would have put them, getting closer to field goal range. Guy runs it back for a pick six.
That guy had a great game. Did you see that? Had a fucking tackle on punt, 2
Neck
touchdowns.
tackle.
Yeah, well, it was shoulder tackle. Yeah, he tackled. He just had big arms. You know, that wasn't illegal at all. And then we had a catch to end the game. They called it incomplete. Obviously, they overturned that. There was a couple targeting. The refs didn't want us to win. Okay, the refs didn't want West Virginia to win. But I thought it was a fucking beautiful game. Do you watch a lot of college football? Last night's environment got me feeling like, oh, football's back. Like last night made that happen to me.
Look, I'll be honest, I only stumbled upon the game because I was looking for Serena and Venus playing doubles.
So I can understand. I understand. They lost.
On ESPN, but it was on ESPN, the Ocho, I think. So on ESPN was Pitt and West Virginia, which I have a connection to. Old quarterback coach Frank Signetti is coaching at Pitt, and Graham Harrell, the legend.
Oh, yeah.
Legend.
Offense coordinator at West Virginia. So I definitely had some rooting interest going on there. But and obviously, Pat, my affection for you, I was I can't deny I was pulling for the Mountaineers, but win some and then they almost win some.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, the only person I knew on the team was fucking Graham Harrell. So so after last night, I thought the team played great. Like, I'm actually excited to be a West Virginia fan this year. They looked fast. They had some situations where it was like, oh, this is a good football team. Because in years past, you watch and you go, oh, this is a JV football team playing against other colleges. So I think Graham Harrell's impact has already been felt. And, after those conversations about him out at Tahoe, can't help but pull for fucking Graham Harrell to have success.
Yep.
Honestly, cannot help, especially those Fridays that he would have. All those Fridays where he would be committed, to the team so
Giving
much.
back.
Giving back to the community. I mean, that is a guy that we fucking want to have in West Virginia for a long time. Let's talk about the Green Bay Packers, Aaron. Let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead.
You sore? No soreness? I know you're tripping balls on ayahuasca 2 months ago, 3 months ago, and now you're doing training camp. There's other guys that they just train all day, every day.
That's right.
They drink water, all they do is eat. You're out here tripping your face off, okay, and then you show up at training camp and win the MVP. Are you feeling good? Body feeling good?
I feel great. I feel great. it is fun having Tom back. Tom makes that room so much fun. We just have such a great rapport. We have years and years of memories, and most of them was when I was a younger player. Although he left, I think after the 2016 season, so it wasn't that long ago. But he was my direct quarterback coach in the room from 2006 through 2011, and a lot of fun memories together. So having him back has been great. Obviously, Jordan and I get along really well and have a great time, and it's been fun to watch him continue to develop and really hone his fundamentals throughout training camp. And then Danny Etling in the room as well, who's a read option samurai. He's the man. It's a really fun quarterback room. And then Connor Lewis, longtime good friend, kind of Swiss Army knife coach. He did analytics in the beginning, and then he was in the quarterback room. Then he was out of the quarterback room doing special teams. Now he's back in the quarterback room. Brilliant guy and a lot of fun to be around. So I love the quarterback room the way it is right now. That kind of sets the tone for the entire day at work. And then the team, it's a young team, and there's a lot of fun with that. There's a lot of young energy and excitement with the guys. I think we have 21 new guys as opposed to last year, which I don't know what the exact number is. That seems to be a little bit maybe above the mean. But I really enjoy coming to work with these guys and the challenge of reconnecting and raising up leadership and empowering guys and connecting with guys. I will say the thing that has been most fun out of anything, and I was really hoping for this, especially over the last couple of years, is a return to normal. And what I mean by that is not a new norm, not a new normal.
No.
Talked about. I'm talking about a return to normal, meaning, especially for us non-vax guys who, went through hell last year, being able to little things like being able to go to dinner on the road in San Fran preseason, being able to have an O-line dinner in Kansas City with about 20 of us, and prank the young lineman with a $25,000 bill, which was 10 times above what it actually was, I think. And having the opportunity to do those type of things, having a team party like we had a few days ago, that's what I missed. I missed those connection times. And it's something as silly and stupid. I don't even know why they did this, but the tables are back in the locker room. Now this means nothing unless you kind of understand the locker room, but the locker room is shaped like an oval, right? And everybody's facing each other. That was a Mike Sherman design, so that there's no right angles in the locker room. So we're all kind of facing inward, right? Well, they've always had these tables in the locker room, and on the tables that's the hangout, Yep. Well, the last couple of years, everybody's been sitting their ass in the locker, and when you sit in your locker, all you're doing is looking at your device, right? Now we got these tables finally back, and they have these little round chairs. And now every single day in training camp, you walk in the locker room from the cafeteria or from equipment room or whatever, and guys are hanging out. Guys are playing cards. Guys are playing dominoes. Guys are playing, whatever game might be, spades. Guys are playing euchre. Guys are playing.
Boo-ray over there?
Boo-ray, yeah. I mean, guys are hanging out, and that's talk, and that's what I love to see. I love to see the opportunity for those connection points, and that's what's exciting is the return to the old norm, right? Not this, not a new norm, an old norm where guys hang out and enjoy each other and spend time together. I love that, and that's been probably the most fun part of camp.
I just love how much fuck you still have for that whole, you know what I mean? They're not that new norm, okay? Not the things that people were telling me that I'm going to have to prepare myself for. I'm talking about what life was like before Uncle 19 came through and literally hit us all with a train of fucking misery and conflict and chaos and ultimately a lot of fear. And I think that is hopefully subsiding a little bit as we move forward. But that locker room sounds amazing. That's the part that everybody misses when they retire. That's what everybody's talking about. And it sounds like for the last 2 years, these young guys, especially with how good of the fucking teams you had, didn't have that's a massive part of team building, I think. I walk into that team, let's say you guys need a punter. I do not have this show. I'm not successful. I'm working out. I'm punting. I walk into one of those tables. I sit down. I get down to 50 first hand of tonk, and I turn that thing over. My relationship with everybody in that building is going to be much different different than if I have to go sit in my locker and not chat with anybody. That happens not just with my position, but everybody. That's huge, Aaron. I think that's a big fucking deal. Has to make life somewhat. You enjoying it a lot more now, I would assume, yes?
I've been enjoying it since I did ayahuasca. So the last few years have been great.
Hold on. Okay. Let's dive into that. Because we can talk.
Let me finish my answer, bro.
No. Let me talk about the. Oh no. Yeah, you're right. Loving football. Go ahead.
Good.
No, then we'll talk ayahuasca because I got a lot of questions. Let's. You're loving football though since ayahuasca. Why? New mindset, new vision on things, new look at things. Well, how come?
Yeah, mental health, bro. It starts with self-love, and when you increase that, then you're able to pass that on more easily. And listen, the locker room is where the chemistry takes place. Like there's a lot of great things that happen on the practice field and obviously in the game and outside the facility is fun and dinners and different things. But the locker room that's the core of that connection, right? That's where the inside jokes happen. That's where, the pranks happen and the connection and the conversation, and you got dudes, freestyle rapping in one corner. You got guys playing spades in the other corner. You got me and Dave scheming prank plots in the other corner, and you got the random specialist in the other corner, talking about the, Joseph Smith or whatever. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that locker room.
I'm not talking about any gold plates.
That's where the connections happen. I mentioned Joseph Smith not as a slight to the LDS at all, but I did make a joke with our new punter, Pat O'Donnell. He showed up. He showed up to the plane, and I said, "Are you on your mission?" Because he looked like like a Mormon, door-to-door Mormon guy.
Yeah, show up on a bike. Yeah, absolutely.
And then Pat's got a great sense of humor. What did he do? Pat punters, this has got to be something about Pat and punters, right?
Respect.
I got back to my locker one day, and there's a Book of Mormon in my locker.
Yes, I like this. Pat's a good dude. Sounds like Pat's a good dude. I like that.
And I open it up, and this is where he really understood, me and my sense of humor and my intellect, and I got a glimpse of his. I opened it up, and I was looking through, and I was like, there's highlights and underlines and pen marks in there, and I was thinking, did he go find this at a secondhand, bookstore and he put it in my locker? No, in fact, he had taken time and gone through because he knew of my, he knew how detail oriented I am, and that I would probably look through it and try and find some clues in there. He had gone through it and highlighted and underlined and written in pen stuff.
He's
to
Mormon.
Make it seem like this was a used Book of Mormon. So it was a multi-layered joke there, and I appreciate it. And then Dahn,
he read a Bible to have a follow-up joke for you. That's awesome. I love this guy. Hope he punts well there for a long time.
He's got a great leg, and he's a really well-groomed punter. He always comes in. That hair is on point. The eyebrows are on point. The facial hair is on point. Between him and Mason, there's not a lot of hair gel left in the city.
Hey-o! I see what you did there. Your hair looks great too, right now. Long.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, it's
Have you been?
You never know.
Have you been growing that hair since ayahuasca?
Yes.
Good transition, Pat. Thank you. So what the fuck happened with that? And how did you end up dabbling with it? Because I feel like that's a massive decision. You and I chatted about it a little bit at Tahoe. I've obviously encountered humans in the past that have done the ayahuasca and the other potential hallucinogens or whatever the title is, that's big deal. That's you're going there thinking that you're going to transform, right? Isn't that kind of what happened? Everybody that I've talked to, before going, after going, different people afterwards. And it's all every person I've talked to has been for the good. Let's assume, just because we don't want to paint a broad brush, some people have had a bad one or whatever, but it's a transformative decision you have to make, right, to go take that. And it seems like football-wise, it's worked with you. Hair-wise, obviously, it's worked incredibly well. But that was a transformative decision that you decided to go do that? And did you know it was going to change you forever?
I mean, I hoped for sure. I mean, I don't think you can ever know for certain when you're dealing with master plant teachers. But
What's that?
Ayahuasca, like it's a master plant teacher. That's what I'm saying.
You're talking about the plant itself.
Yeah, I think there's some master plant teachers from,
Okay.
ayahuasca and Wachuma, peyote. I haven't done those other ones, but there's many master plant teachers that people have been using for thousands and thousands of years. There's churches set up across the country that serve some of these medicines and have deep and meaningful experiences. For me, it just came down to a high school best friend and I having a round of golf and talking about his recent ayahuasca experience. You met him, Jordan.
Oh yeah.
And Jordan inspired me to do it because I was searching for a deeper level of self-love, and went down to Machu Picchu in Peru and had magical experiences there in Peru in the Sacred Valley, and then had a couple really interesting nights on the medicine and came back a changed person. Wanted to leave myself open to doing that again in a different setting, in a different place, with a different group, and ended up doing that again this off season and had an absolutely beautiful experience. Sat for more nights this time, 3 and 2 the first time, 3 the second time, and had really difficult night 1, beautiful night 2, and then kind of a mixed bag night 3, with a really beautiful kind of conclusion to the ceremony. And it changes the way you look at the world. You feel way more connected, and it starts with a self-love. And when you have that unconditional love for yourself, it's way easier to then transfer that to the people that matter in your life, and honestly, the people that don't matter, so that I can, say with honesty to my detractors and haters and whoever it is, like, I don't have bitterness towards you. I don't have animosity. I have nothing but love and appreciation for where you're at in your life, on your life path, and all the different emotions that impact our personality and our decision making and in our belief system on a daily basis. And it allows me to relate to my teammates better, to relate to the coaches better, to relate to my close friends and loved ones better, and really, most importantly, out of all of it, it's not selfish, but to relate to myself, and then to shed self-judgment and all the projections that I put on myself, to really shed those and to find a deep and transformative self-love for everything that I am and everything that I'm not, and then go out in the world and try and love people in the same way.
Do you think that you were fighting who you were for a long time because you're this hippie brainiac who is like the best player to ever play the most meathead sport of all time? Do you think you were just kind of confused? That's why you were trying to find and figure out who you were with ayahuasca the first trip? Or what do you think it is? What do you think it was that made you appreciate yourself and, understand who you are more? Because it felt like you being yourself more is probably how everything kind of changed for you in a positive way. What do you think it was?
I think we're all the products in some sense of our upbringing. There's a lot of conditioning that goes on, and a lot of patterns that are formed, many just naturally as you acquire them from your parents or siblings or surroundings or environment. Some of them are based on survival, and I'm not talking about life or death. For some people, yes, life or death, but more just surviving the day and surviving the emotions that come up. And for me, a lot of the things that I learned or patterned were very self-critical. And on one hand, I do appreciate it because that self-criticism drove me to be the best and to not be satisfied with where I was at, to not be complacent, to not make decisions that would adversely affect my future in a negative way. And so I'm thankful for that. But there comes a time where shame and guilt and self-projection and self-rejection and self-criticism can get in the way of the true connection to yourself that allows you to love yourself better and then to allow others to love you as well in a deeper and more meaningful way. So that's really what I went down to Peru looking for and hoping for, was just a greater self-love and an understanding of what that means on a deep cellular level, and shedding some of the shame and guilt and conditioning that I learned as a child. And again, this is not a projection onto my family life or the environment I grew up in. It's just what became the reality to me. And and how I kind of maneuvered in my world as a 5-year-old, as a 10-year-old, as a 15-year-old, as a 20-year-old. And it was through a lot of self-judgment, not feeling good enough or lovable or whatever it might be. And so the goal was to really shed those things and to find a deeper self-love, and with the hopes and the ideas that a deeper self-love would lead to more contentment and peace, which would lead to a more clear mind, which would lead to being a better leader and a better player, and having the success in the field that I knew I was still capable of doing.
Seems like you fucking found it, buddy.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Woo. Congratulations. Made the right decision. Gotta feel pretty good about it.
Well, listen. The work continues. You know, it's constantly trying to evolve and adapt. And what do you got there?
A 700-page book that you said people should read with your book club.
You didn't read it.
Who?
Is that Fingerprints of the Gods?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about leveling up. For you, it might not be that. For you, it might be starting with the boy, the mole, the horse, and the fox, right? I said that in the wrong order, but...
Yeah, or the Trebek, the answer is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, right.
But
my friend.
Hey, but
Great.
I think we saw some of you continuing to work on yourself though through this book club. Don't you think? Yeah, I think we all did.
Yes, I think so.
I think it was cool that you were doing that. And I was like, while you're stating these books, I'm like, God damn, this feels like literally books he's currently going through right now as you're going through an entire process. It's been
Most of the books I read in the last couple of years, for sure.
Yeah, well, I want to let you know, it's been an honor to be a part of this entire Aaron Rodgers appreciates what the fuck Aaron Rodgers is for the first time in his entire life era here. It's been very cool. It's been very nice. I think we should make an announcement right now, don't you?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right. You want to say it? Me? We didn't rehearse.
I want you to say it.
In an unprecedented move for the third consecutive season.
What?
Right.
Conversations that rattled the sports globe.
What?
Why?
Emotions that were high, low, and all the emotions in between.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know how I was going to get that many what's in there. Anyways, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is back for season 3. Let's go! Let's go! Hey, this thing has been a full. Hey, we're talking, right? I mean, it's been all over the place. Not feeling low, but the reaction to some episodes were rather negative. And then you know what you would do that next week? You go throw for fucking 4 touchdowns, 2 incompletions, and then we go back and have the whole conversation. It's been an honor to ride the wave of a season 2 times in a row alongside of you, and for it to become the third. This is awesome. You're awesome, and we appreciate the fucking hell out of you, Aaron.
Listen, Pat. Get your Speedo on, get your longboard out, because this is a long right that we're jumping on here.
Yeah.
We're going to ride this thing all the way down.
Nah, I'm not hopping up there. we're going to do this whole thing. I can't thank you enough. I know Ty has some questions for you, so do the boys. Is that okay?
Yeah, come on.
Hey, let's have a fucking season 3 of ART.
Hell yeah.
Huh?
Let's go. We're back, bro.
You know, I know we're in the middle of self-love, no pressure, no animosity, no bitterness, but you don't win an MVP this year, I'm going to be so pissed.
Yeah.
You know, because we have a streak, you know what I mean? I mean, we'll bring everything we can. We're just, like, the fact that you've won the MVP both years that we've done this has been hilarious. And when we look back on it, we'll say, what a fucking joke this life has been. But it's been really cool. This is a whole new team you're working with. It's going to be a whole new season. Let's go, dude, huh? Let's go.
I just need a couple people counting us out. That's all we need. And I think they're already out there.
Aaron, there's a lot of them, pal. I want to let you know that. This one isn't a guy, though. Ty Schmidt, your question for
No,
Aaron
absolutely
Rodgers.
not. Aaron, great to see you. It's been a while. You look great. Your hair looks great. You look physically fit.
Right.
Hope you enjoyed your summer. I think you did. A lot of people were talking about, you know, the comments you made with the receivers kind of needing to pick up their play and get ready because once the season starts, you know, we don't really have a choice. Have you found yourself in like a more active coaching role almost with those guys? And do you feel like they've come along to the point like you expected them to be at this point right on the precipice of the season?
Well, again, Ty, great question.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Misty and Tahoe. But I think as you get older, you have to step into that more of a coaching role. And I love those opportunities. I think it's important anytime that I'm speaking up in a meeting that those guys take notes, because I'm not just speaking for my health. That I'm usually dropping some things that may come up at some point during the year. And I think it's important that everybody's dialed in on the same page and paying attention. And I will say those young guys have come along. Now, we got to get Samari, a little bit more focused. But he is very, very talented. I'm starting with him, our 7th-round pick, Samari Toure. And I thought he had a really nice camp and did some great things and improved. His last game, I think he had like 6 catches for 80 yards and kind of basically won his spot on the last game, and I give him a lot of credit. But the other 2 guys, I think, can really make an immediate impact for us. I'm talking about Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson.
Let's go, boys.
It was good having Christian back at practice. He missed a lot of practice. And during that time, what was going on? Romeo was getting a ton of love, right? He was getting a lot of pub. He was making plays in practice. He was making plays in games. The thing I like about Rome's that I saw right away was that he's a humble kid. And with that humility comes a really good perspective that I haven't done shit yet. And so I'm going to make sure, I'm improving every single day. Because it's one thing to do it in the preseason, it's another thing to do it in the regular season. And I really like his approach and his work ethic. And overall, he's just a great kid. He really is. And excited to have him out there. Christian, missed a lot of time with his knee injury. And then he gets on the field the first couple of days, and you're thinking, who is this 9 right here? I mean, he is big. I might need to change Dave's, Dave Bakhtiari's nickname, because this kid might be the new baby giraffe. I mean, he's maybe more like a deer, because he's out there just prancing around and flying around on the field. I mean, this dude's got incredible stride length and really for a man who's 6'5", like his speed is legit. So it was nice having him. He's a different type of receiver than we've had. A guy that big with that type of stride length and that speed. So again, we're going to temper expectations for sure. And I did say earlier in camp, Romeo might be held to a different standard than that's a normal rookie, but we still need to temper expectations of those guys and realize they are rookies. But I am impressed with all 3 of those guys, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out. But we're going to need those guys to step up and play well when they get a chance. When it comes to holding those guys accountable, that's what we do. They asked me a question about receivers. They have a shit day. I'm going to tell them they had a shit day. They have a week where they don't play good. I'm going to talk about it. But we're also going to love each other up and hold each other accountable and pat each other on the ass when we're making good plays and get serious when we need to have better performance. But I like the approach from those guys. Christian asked a lot of questions. So does Romeo. A lot of questions. And their goal is improvement and getting on the same page. And when you pair that with the veterans that we got, which I tell you what, Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb have practiced as good as I've seen receivers practice in the last few weeks.
Haven't heard about it at all. Nope. Haven't heard about it at all.
In a long time. So we really have those guys, and obviously I love Allen and trust him a lot. So I like the group that we got. We get the big giraffe back and big sexy Elton Jenkins. We should be in a good place offensively.
All right, we got baby giraffe, big sexy, big giraffe. I mean, this offense sounds like quite a phenomenon of people. What do you? Let's assume.
Got the mayor.
The mayor.
A.J. Dillon, the mayor.
Oh yeah, Door County.
Of all of Wisconsin.
Mostly Door County.
Okay. He's shaking a lot of hands. He's got those quads though. I'm big. I'm grown. He ran over that mascot. You talked to him about killing that mascot. Did you see that?
Didn't feel bad.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. That guy signed up for a fucking one-on-one with A.J. Dillon. You got the ball or not, pal? I guess that's what you said to him?
I mean, it's like, would you rather get run over by A.J. Dillon or a roundhouse from Chuck Norris? I don't know. Not sure.
That could be C, huh? All of the above. What do you think is – because let's assume that these guys are watching this right? Just like every coach's press conference that is said, the players all hear exactly what is said about the players because of that. Same thing with you, especially with rookies that are going to have to do business with you that are wide receivers. You said let's temper expectations. They're still rookies, even though we're going to hold them to a higher standard because they're going to have to perform more. What are some things that they're going to encounter, you think, that are like just hiccups? Like, have you talked to them about that? Like, there's going to become a coverage, a human. Like, what do you think is going to be the issue with the young wide receiver in your timing, or maybe you having ultimate success early?
Speed. That's it. That really is it. And also, I believe it's this is a double entendre here. Start in Speed. Who was the main star in the movie Speed? Do you remember?
Keanu.
And whose birthday is it today?
Well, happy birthday, Aaron.
Yeah.
Keanu's birthday.
Oh, okay.
Happy
Happy birthday, Keanu Reeves, dude. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Wick. Appreciate you, dude.
Greatest actor of our generation. But to return to your answer, it is Speed. So I don't mean necessarily the speed of the game, because obviously it gets a little faster from regular season to from preseason to regular season. But the speed at which your brain must operate and still be able to leave room for reaction. So the worst thing that a player, any player, young player, old player can do is be robotic. You know, be so locked into what you're doing, you can't leave any room for reactions and instincts. When it comes to rookies, it is hard to be able to feel comfortable with what you're doing and leave room for the reactions, because your mind starts running a million miles an hour. And when you talk about the game slowing down, right, this is fun thing, sports talk, you know, the game slowed down for you. What does that actually mean? Well, it doesn't mean you're slowed down. It means your mind has relaxed enough to make room for reactions and instincts to enter. And that's going to be the biggest challenge for them. And it's going to take a play or two plays or a game. You know, could be game 1, could be game 17. Thanks, NFLPA. But could be game 17 where it kicks in. Hopefully game 1 or 2 or 3, something early on. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're good kids. They really care about it, and they ask good questions, and they're supremely talented. So it's just a speed. Once the brain slows down and they allow room for the reactions and the instincts, the game becomes a little bit easier.
Hey, good luck out there, boys. Figure it out. Tell your brain to figure out what the brain needs to do. All right? And the NFLPA is going to be pumped with how you delivered that, 17-game monologue there. A lot of money, though, coming into the league. There's going to be 18 games next year or the year after that. Whenever it can happen, there's going to be 18 games. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. We're not going to get into it. Connor, your question for Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, Aaron, I'd love to hear your thoughts about Ukraine, but I know AJ wants to ask you about that maybe next time. Have you followed the Trey Lance, Jimmy G situation at all, and do you think that is kind of going to mess up the locker room dynamic?
Yeah, I'll give you my answer next week. I want to save that for when AJ's there.
Smart. He probably has a take or two as well on the whole thing. We have not heard yet. So.
I won't share it, though. Listen, I think a lot of us were thinking, and Jimmy, I think, admitted himself that he was probably going to be somewhere else, right? He's played at a high level for a long time. He's one of those guys who can step in and play well. And the Niners obviously said they want to move on with Trey as their quarterback. You've seen some clips. We saw him in person. He can definitely throw it, and he can definitely run all over the place. He's super athletic. But second-year guy, I think Jimmy's been in the league, 7 or 8 or 9 at this point? It's been a while, right? So you have a veteran quarterback and a young quarterback on the same team. I don't think, the media loves to do the pick sides game, right? Like, how many people are on Trey's side and how many people on Jimmy's side? That, to me, that idea really only exists outside the locker room. In the locker room, and Pat, you've been in the locker room, it's a brotherhood, it's friendly, it's camaraderie, it's friendship, it's competition, but in the end, it's whoever's taking snaps, that's who we're getting behind. Now, every now and then there might be a guy who's best friends with somebody who might harbor some ill will and, really wished their guy was playing. But, the game's about winning, right? And when you win, whoever's calling the shots, whoever's making the plays, that's who we're riding with, and that's who we're rolling with, and everybody gets on board.
That's the big
know,
part.
I don't think it's an issue. Now, if they lose some games and struggle, there'll be some heat outside the building. Inside the building, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a very direct environment in the locker room. Guys will voice their opinion. I mean, who do you think should be playing? Who could be playing? Like, people get it. It's a business. You draft a kid in the first round, the kid's going to play at some point, right?
Yeah.
The guy's winning MVPs, the kid's going to play at some point.
Yeah. You're 100% right. I just think if they win, it's all good. That just seems like a tough decision, but it sounds like Jimmy G and Trey are actually like boys, and Jimmy spoke glowingly, as did Trey. I think that'll help out immensely in the locker room.
They probably are, so let them be.
Yeah, exactly.
Friends. There's really truly not a lot of animosity in the locker room. It's our guys. And you're not best friends with everybody on the team, but there's a lot of really good close friendships in the locker room. And it's not bullshit when I stand in front of my locker and speak glowingly about Jordan and the things that I'm seeing him doing well in the preseason and in practice. Like, I'm not like doing that for some sort of, virtue signaling or whatever. I'm doing that because I love him. I care about him. I want him to do well. When I see him out there doing well, man, it fires me up. When I see him drop back and one hits and throw a fucking dime, I'm like, yes, homie, yes.
Here we go, Jordan.
And I bet it's the same with Jimmy and Trey. Like Jimmy probably, he's a competitor. He probably wanted to be somewhere and be a chance to be a starter. But, c'est la vie. It is what it is. He's going to be there. He'll be a great teammate, I'm sure. And if something happens or if they struggle, he'll be ready to jump in.
Yeah, it'll get figured out. I think that's what everybody just assumes. It'll get figured out. But it's going to be, I think their settings, whatever. We'll move on. I'm excited.
They're going to be a good team. So he just needs to play within himself, and they'll be fine. They got a great defense. You got playmakers. You got a great play caller, head coach. They'll be just fine. And
that's that brain thing you were talking about with the wide receiver, probably a quarterback position, even more so for the younger guys, huh?
Yeah.
Because that makes you what? Kind of press everything, I'd assume, right?
I mean, the timing, you play faster, the timing is a little bit off. You're one hit, you're two hitching instead of one hitching. You're maybe bouncing the pocket, maybe leaving the pocket early, and not just kind of sitting and letting things kind of just progress as you're playing on time. Playing on time isn't playing slow. It's actually playing fast. Playing too quickly is playing off time, and off time is off balance, and off balance is inaccurate.
Of course.
Hell yeah.
All right. Hey, I have a great fucking weekend. Last year, with the sales of the Aaron Rodgers Book Club t-shirts, we raised $100,000.
Wow.
We'll be donating that to a few different reader advocacy groups. We have found 3. We're going to find a couple more. I think we're going to give $20,000 to each for a total of 5. You did a lot of great work, not only on the field last year, on this show, for the readers around the globe. The book club was a smashing success. Can't wait to see what we do this year if we have another season of that. And we know Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays will be awesome. We appreciate you, man.
Hey guys, I'm excited. I have some books in mind if we run it back.
Okay.
But big kudos to you guys and the boys and everybody that makes that show so special. I cannot wait for season 3. I promise you,
it's unprecedented.
It is gonna be fire.
Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen, you look tank top, hair pulled back, mustache. You look fucking awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the back-to-back MVP and host of season 1, 2, and now 3, Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. Aaron Rodgers. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah!
Is that what that's like the meditation shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, ring the thing and then the sound.
Which he did have dinner with a couple Buddhas one time, so maybe.
Man, made some people wait. So you go eat with 4 Buddhists. I wonder what that meal was like. Probably shit it out 20 or 30 minutes later.
Yeah,
Probably
I'd
good.
assume so.
Going down.
Easy come, easy go, that Buddhist meal.
Exactly.
All right, we got hour 2 on the other side. We'll have AJ Hawk, Stephon Diggs. Reaction to what we just chatted about there with Aaron. I got a text from Mike Florio. Said, looky what I'm watching.
Of course.
Maybe we're opening. Hey, are we opening dialogue back up with Florio? Come on, Florio.
Maybe.
Let's enjoy football.
Now when it comes to that guy.
Let's enjoy the NFL. Aaron's his own human. He's allowed to do whatever he wants, Florio. Like, he's just good at football.
He's
Sorry
a
about it.
guy too, right?
Yeah, bad night last night. We fucking played though. I I saw a lot of promise out of our team.
JT Daniels hung in there, took a lot of fucking shots on a lot of good
How many
throws.
years he got left? This is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck. So we're not going to win.
Maybe.
COVID year.
Yeah,
I mean, Sean Clifford's been playing since 2012. So
If we can get JT for 2 years, that'd be great.
I agree.
That'd be great news.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, we're back in about 5 minutes here with Hour 2. AJ Hawk, Stephon Diggs. We can't wait for it. Also, your phone calls on the 500 phone line, 1-833-4McAfee. We'll see you then. Just reading this headline here that is written on this piece of paper by Boston Connor this morning. Lou Holtz sent Brian Kelly several letters over his Notre Dame tenure to no response.
Yep.
This must have slipped through the cracks in the group text. Sports Illustrated is reporting, while talking to reporters this past week, Lou Holtz shared that while Brian Kelly was at the helm, he wrote him several letters over his tenure as coach. Unfortunately, Holtz said he never got a response. So... obviously we gotta go.
Well. Looks like I wasn't fibbing when I said that Brian Kelly was a big old piece of shit. You write this guy letters and try to tell him, hey, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a successful coach at Notre Dame. Okay, he didn't fucking respond to me once. You know how long it takes me to write these goddamn handwritten letters? I'm not typing them on a Macintosh. I'm not typing them on the Dell. I'm dipping my ink in the quill, and I'm writing these handwritten letters. And what does he do? He says, hey, you know what, Lou? I won't write you a letter, but I'll send some kid into a cherry picker with 85-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll kill him. And then guess what? I still won't write you a letter back. He can apologize, but it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's in the right spot. We got Marcus Freeman with 17-point underdogs at Ohio State. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly gets run out of LSU because before too long, the boosters down there are going to find out what I found out. And that's that he's a big old steaming bag of shit.
Coach, isn't it a chance that you with those handwritten letters that he never got them? He was just checking his email?
No, you kidding me? If I fucking write a letter, it's getting on the head coach's desk, okay? You think Charlie Weiss ever got my handwritten letters or Tyrone Willingham? Those guys always wrote back to me. Always.
Oh, shit. Probably just put bacon in those letters.
Thank you, Coach.
That's your buddy Brady Quinn, okay? He knows I wrote a letter before every single Notre Dame home game. Had it in his locker.
What did you say about the game where you're taking on your future brother-in-law, AJ Hawk?
Well, I said, good luck, Brady. Hopefully you play like a guy like Carlisle Holiday. I'm sure you remember him. He was a great quarterback at Notre Dame, led them to a lot of success. Of course, you know, Brady, unfortunately, they had good seasons, and they got their asses beaten every single big post-game bowl. And we all remember the LSU Sugar Bowl where Marcus Russell, or whatever the hell his name was, he threw it all over the football field. And then AJ and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Did you see the documentary about Manti Te'o? Seems like a really good guy that the world
You know what?
really was rooted to.
Manti's a sweet kid, okay? And I'm sick and tired of everybody shitting on him and making him feel like he wasn't a sweet kid, because he was such a sweet kid. Everything that you want out of a student athlete at Notre Dame. He wasn't Catholic, which I don't love, but he's a sweet kid, and he really got misrepresented in that. I still feel bad for Manti.
Did you write him a letter when all that shit came out?
Once again, I couldn't write him a letter because he's not Catholic. If he was Catholic, I would have, but he's Mormon, and I don't know about his religion as much as I do about the Catholic religion, touchdown Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But no, you know, I feel bad because Manti was such a good player. He was the highest rated linebacker recruit Notre Dame ever had, you know, and look at him now. He's just a sad oos on a beach down in Hawaii.
Did you say sad ooze? Oh my God, Coach Holtz, I did not know you had ooze in the repertoire.
Yeah, of course. How do you think I recruited? We got some bad ooses in my time at Notre Dame. Offensive, defensive line. I stole a couple of them from SC and BYU and all those places.
Jesus. Oh. I'll tell you, I did not expect that today.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. It is Feel Good Friday, September 2nd, 2022. The day that Aaron Rodgers' Tuesday Season 3 has been announced. We start now. Football! Hour 2 is on its way. A lot of tweets last night about people just tweeting what their topic that they cover is.
Yeah, I saw that.
I loved everything about it. We talk mostly football because we are football stooges, sports stooges to be exact. The Talks the Table at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Boys, I haven't heard a lot out of you today because we had just had a 55-minute conversation with Aaron. I apologize for that, but that was a lot of fun, Ty.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Good to see our guy. Looks happy.
Yeah. Great to have him back. You know, I am very excited for this season, and hearing all that stuff he said about the receivers has got me feeling a little bit better than I think I was, going into the show this morning.
Temper expectations. He said we do have rookie wide receivers that we're depending upon. There's going to be some learning curves, but it sounds like he's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Tables are back in the locker room.
That's right.
Huge.
Playing cards again. The team's coming together. They're going to have to. A lot of new faces going to have to make some magic for them. At Boston Connor, last time we saw that guy, Lake Tahoe, what a time.
Yeah, it was nice to reminisce. It's almost like that was 2 years ago at this point because of this journey we've been on to football, and now it's here. You're just kind of looking for it. But yeah, Tahoe was amazing. It was nice to remember those good times and look forward to this whole season of good times.
Tahoe was kind of like our ayahuasca trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Change our mindset on things.
It truly was.
Find out that exists out there. What a beautiful place.
Yeah, that is the Mecca of California.
It is definitely.
By far.
Impossible to get to. Impossible to get to. You got to go by land, air, and sea to get there.
Yeah, you do.
But the place we were staying at that was his house, overlooking Lake Tahoe, with a full mountain range in the back that people, I guess, destination snowboard and ski on. It was amazing out there, dude. Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Foxy.
Now, I know.
Tone Diggs is not Foxy. This is Tone Diggs.
Oh, did you say Foxy?
No, yeah, but I thought Foxy was going to say something, but he's in another room, so you can't see him. He's behind a wall. So don't worry about that. You had a great thought. Go with it, Tone.
I was also reminded this week that I hate him.
Come on.
Jeez.
Tone, my favorite week 1 bet is the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6.5.
Shut up.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I love that. Maybe we boost it.
Boost
Yeah.
it. It's a great
Ooh.
bet.
Maybe we
6.5.
boost it.
Boost is
defeated. Boost
Yeah.
is hot. Boost
Yeah.
is hot. What were we going to say then?
We're not big on driving, but I did one time fly into San Francisco, and it's like a 3-hour drive to Lake Tahoe. Beautiful scenery through there. I recommend everyone does it.
Yeah, they should. It's a nice
But it
little
is hard
getaway.
to fucking get there.
Joining us now is one of the mayors of Tahoe, a man who went to the American Century Championship like 13 years straight. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, and COVID survivor multi-time. One of the co-hosts of Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, which will be entering an unprecedented Season 3 coming up this season. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Hawk. What's up, dude?
It was good. I got to see most of it, man. He looked great. Sounded great.
He was. I scheduled it for the 1 o'clock hour. He had something going on, so we went to the noon. I didn't like that we didn't have you on here. We were missing a special level of toxicity, you know?
No, I thought it was great. I enjoyed watching as a fan, so it was very enjoyable to see.
Did you get a little AJ Hawk cut today too? Hair's looking good.
Look at that.
That's a few days ago, I think.
Oh, really?
Reunion cut, huh?
You've been working out? Yeah. Is this you getting ready? You've been cutting carbs, so you have a little bit more. You look a little bit more handsome, doesn't he?
Seeing some of my old teammates.
Yeah,
Oh, because you're gonna
spray tan tonight. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, because you're the picker for game day.
Jack Harlow's going to do well.
See.
His nail tech skull knows how to keep a little secret, but that doesn't mean he should be picking games for Ohio State, Notre Dame. If the entire 2002 national championship squad is going to be in the building, It's either A.J. Hawk or Maurice Clarett.
Yeah, and who has ties to
Only
Notre
two
Dame?
options.
That also went to Ohio State. A.J. Hawk.
Boom. Brady Quinn.
Yes.
In the family.
Bingo.
There we go.
Ooh, what about Laura Hawk?
What if Laura Hawk is Laura Hawk picking?
Oh yeah, she would really, really enjoy that. I'm sure she'd be up for it.
All right, let's dive into it. Aaron seems to be in a great place. I don't know how often do you talk to him nowadays in the training camp days? Is it every day? It feels like he's in a great spot. Are you expecting the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time I talk to him, he's always seems goofy and like he always is, and in a good mood, and seems to be really enjoying football too, and feels very comfortable. He wore what he claims was a tank top. It looked like an old man shooting basketball shirt or something that my dad would wear to the ref. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, it had an interesting fit, but I think he was just trying. He said he was
no,
trying.
it's great. I respect the effort.
I think he probably cut that maybe.
Yeah, it looked like
There's a chance he might have cut that just for the occasion, and we appreciate him for that. The tables being back in the locker room, he said, like, hey, people aren't going to take this as a big deal, but it is. That is a big deal. That means that hey, you're not allowed to hang out with each other, even though you're teammates and don't know each other that well. And if you do know each other better, you'd be a better team. All those protocols that are put in place to save lives, obviously, 0 NFL guys ended up dying.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank you,
Thank
NFL
you.
guys, for surviving that. But that's all out. That's huge, I think. I think we're going to see. I think that is a huge deal, AJ Hawk.
I didn't even think about that until I heard him say it. But then as he says it, I understand. It's the same buzzword, culture and all that. If a team gets along, they're going to play better. If you trust the guy next to you and you've done things and you've hung out with that dude off the field, like in their real life, you're going to trust that person a lot more, I feel like. And if a whole team is like that, then yeah, look out. You're going to be going somewhere.
And it might change the way you view the profession as a whole. You know? Like some people who maybe were thinking about who knows how many years I have left, because he's been kind of experiencing a terrible experience in the NFL. Not although he's playing well, but, the camaraderie of the game, of the locker room is a massive part. Money's great. Winning's great, competing's great, legacy's great, but a massive part of your day-to-day, your overall happiness is your interaction with the building and how it all goes. So you can see how maybe some people thought the last 2 years weren't what they signed up. This is much different than what I signed up for. So maybe that changes the future.
Yeah.
Maybe that changes some futures, Ty Schmidt. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's got me thinking 4 more years.
What?
Yeah, that T-shirt. I might start, get that thing out of the dryer and start wearing it every day again.
He did look healthy, AJ. Hair's full since the ayahuasca trip. You get the tail end of that hair there in the way back.
There we go.
There's ayahuasca still in it.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Because of how long it's been on his head. Yeah, but he was holding something there. What was that he was pointing at?
The sun.
He's pointing at the sun.
Well, so he wasn't holding that bottle. I did see him grab the bottle at one point, but I thought this was potentially a marketing photo for somebody. But he looks good. I honestly, I'm happy that he seems just fucking happy. Like carefree, happy, not worried about anything. Because the world has reacted to all the interviews he has done over the last couple of weeks, AJ.
How have they reacted?
Well, he's been championed by a lot of people, just like what happened in the past. They get a victory lap almost with it, and then there's still people that are still killing him too.
Oh, yeah.
But that'll only continue to be the case. He's Aaron Rodgers, and people are going to hate him for no reason, and people are going to hate him for a reason, and people are going to love him after actually getting a chance to hear that hippie fucker talk. He's a hippie, dude, isn't he?
I mean, it does seem to be trending in that direction, yeah.
Trending.
It's a great thing. I think it's awesome. Hey, man, be you. I like anybody that is authentic and they are who they truly are.
With the hippies and the cowboys. Great song there by Cody Jinks, I believe is his name. Okay. Was introduced to that song like within the last couple of weeks. And a lot of the words he's saying in there, I'm like, hey, this guy's talking about my life. Just getting, I'm normally the hippie surrounded by the cowboys. But basically how the industry doesn't like him. So it's a big A.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
They don't write about me in your magazines. That whole thing.
What the hell?
Sure.
Well, he's a fucking heat maker, dude.
Sounds like it.
Everybody's going to love it. Did you watch the games last night? Last night, obviously Pitt gets the win over West Virginia. West Virginia going into that game, I'm not sure what the expectations were. Pitt was ranked 17th. They returned the number 2 defensive line in the country, full offensive line. They have weapons upon weapons up there in Pittsburgh after an ACC championship last year. West Virginia, a lot of turnover. I was impressed by the Mountaineer team. I was impressed by the environment. That was awesome. Made me actually genuinely feel football was back, AJ. Then Penn State on that last last drive, game winner, Big Ten football kicking off in beautiful fashion. Last night was fucking awesome, AJ. Did you catch any of the games, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, those two games, I was kind of flipping back and forth throughout the night. And you're right. I heard you say it earlier with Aaron. It felt like, here we go. Football has started. Like, it has begun. I know there's other games on around, but those two, both were good games. It kind of came down to the wire, and I think you hit it right on the head. Like, the atmosphere was awesome. It was cool to see college fans going crazy, and, yeah, the games lived up to the hype, I think.
Ton Diggs, how did we bet last night? Did we bet pretty good? I know the Super Boost hit.
Was it? A lot of the show was on Mountaineers plus 7.5, so they did well.
Graham Harrell.
But 16-1 favorites straight up to start the season. That's not ATS, not against the spread, but straight up. There hasn't really been any big upsets besides Northwestern over Nebraska. Every other favorite has won so far this season.
So you're saying they are who we thought they were.
Sounds like
Start.
it.
I mean, there's a lot of football we play tonight and tomorrow.
All right, this weekend, massive matchups here. Obviously, Oregon, Georgia. Georgia favored by 16.5. Reigning champs who had 45 people drafted in the first round that only had 32 draft picks somehow. Cincinnati, Arkansas is a big deal. Luke Fickell, what's he going to do in the post? Desmond Ritter, Sauce Gardner, that whole era. Then you got Utah, Florida. Dan Orlovsky's on the call.
That's right.
Dan Orlovsky laying down in Gainesville today, and he was asked by a local what he said. He was pumped up. First night game at the Swamp. And that guy looked at him dead face and said, "Buckle up, son," because the Swamp is no joke. Dan Orlovsky tweeted that. He obviously either felt threatened or impressed by their fan base. And then all eyes are on Notre Dame, Ohio State. Game day will be live in Columbus. AJ Hawk will be the guest picker. Jack Harlow will be performing bangers. And Marcus Freeman, in his first head coaching stint with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, returned to the place that he played, Ohio State, with a 17.5 point favorite.
Jesus.
This should be a massive weekend. College football is fucking doing it. Normally, okay, we are in the college football world this year with the Omaha
Right.
college
Saturday.
football production, 6 games or whatever. So normally we're not into the college football world because the NFL has enough going on. This year we're in the college football landscape. I loved it last night.
Yeah.
And I assume this weekend with this lineup, we're going to have fucking great games this weekend, AJ. You're going to be all boozed up. But I think we're in for it this weekend with college football, and we appreciate them for that.
Well, I think that's what makes college football cool, like the atmosphere, the band, the weird, like, the diehard fans that have been fans of that university since they were born. They were born into it. I think that's what makes college football cool. We may not know every player on the field, but I think everything that surrounds it makes it awesome.
I concur completely. I'm not normally a big time gambler on college football, but Connor feels like you got it all figured out.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I've been rooting for good college football for my entire life. Everyone knows that I watch college football every single day if I could. But I mean, Tony said it about the favorites, 16-1 straight up. I'm just I like the dogs early just because of these massive spreads. Maybe it is top heavy with Ohio State and Bama, but Notre Dame's the number 5 ranked team in the country, and they're 17.5 point dogs. Like
AJ Hawk's gonna be in. You're not nervous. The Buckeyes are gonna be.
I'm nervous. I'm mostly nervous that DeBittle is going to get the boys so fired up at halftime that Notre Dame's going to come out and have no idea what to do, and response to whatever cool, funky stuff DeBittle does.
Hey, Tibittle is awesome. They might have some competition though with the Tennessee band. Did you see Cole Kublik's tweet to us?
I did not. Did they do a dong or something like people have done in the past?
What's wrong with you?
They don't do dongs. Nobody does dongs.
Other people haven't gotten in trouble in the past.
No, there's no dongs in the halftime band play. Come on.
If a band is doing something, I assume it's something like that if you're bringing it up.
No, you think I'm bringing up dongs? That would be if you brought it up. We'd all go, the band probably made a dong.
So what'd they do?
D3.
They were awesome. They played Narco.
Ooh. Oh, they did? Okay.
Smart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they crushed it. Cole Kublik sent it to us because obviously it's hot with the Edwin Diaz. That's all part of the pageantry that is college football. A man who went to college at the University of Maryland would go on to catch a football and cause a miracle for a fucking city. Now he's a member of the Buffalo Bills. Two-time Pro Bowler, and a man who just had a back-to-school backpack giveaway, making the world a much better place. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephon Diggs.
Hey, what's up, big guy?
Hey, how are you, man? You caught the tail end of our conversation. There was no bands that made the dong formation on any fields yet. I just want to let you know that. Just clarify it.
I got you, Rick. I heard about some dogs though, so I got to pay attention to that, especially in the Bills field.
Have you seen a Bildo yet in your time being a Buffalo Bill?
No, not yet. I haven't been blessed to hear one. They heard that's like part of the initiation. So like, I'll let you know if it come across my desk.
Well, now that COVID's kind of dying, because Bildos are being
True.
left at home because Bildos are known to hold COVID.
Transmitted.
So the Buffalo Bills fans, they kind of knew that. Stefan, sorry that this is how this has started, but thank you so much for joining us. Giving back to the community with backpacks for back to school. You're a great dude. I think we're all enjoying the fact that you're up there with the Buffalo Bills. This year, massively different. Obviously, you're hey. SD got a big old bag.
I'm trying.
Congrats on that. I think you're getting a call. Yeah, I think congrats on that. But this year, you guys are favorites now. You know what I mean? You guys are.
It's just out of order over here. Sorry.
You guys are. Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it's actually kind of dope to think about.
Yeah, kind of sweet. Sitting sideways.
Let me see if I can make straight.
Oh, okay.
All right, it's just getting worse. I'm getting worse.
You're facing AJ.
We got action. Come on, let's go.
There you go.
Oh! Hey, look at you, a tech genius. I didn't know that was the case. You guys are at the top.
Part-time IT guy.
You guys are at the top of the mountain now, though. All eyes are on you. You guys are going into the Super Bowl champs as favorites week 1 next week, less than 6 days away from now. Do you guys even know that? Do you have any clue, or is it the same vibe as you felt the last couple years? Do you understand that it's heightened now, or can you not tell with the group that you have?
I can't tell personally, just because we kind of got that team made up of guys that's kind of that chip on your shoulder guys, the guys who came through the back door, had to work hard to get to where they at type of guys. So it's been a definitely different positioning from everybody else's perspective. But I feel like we're living in that ignore the noise, especially in that realm right now. This chapter, we fell short a couple of times. So at this point, we're just trying to get over the hump and get to where we all feel like we belong. But it's, it kind of starts somewhere. And, I don't want to give you the political answer, but we do it's got a big game coming up in a couple of days. It's going kind of get us to where we, want to go as far as one step at a time.
Hell yeah.
Hey, how good is Josh Allen? And how, he's so young, too, and he continues to get better and better. What's it like watching that dude just continue to improve?
Josh Allen, in my opinion, is the best quarterback in the league. I'm not just saying that just because he's my quarterback. You've seen him have explosive games, crazy games. You've seen him run. You've seen him jump over corners, run over DBs, challenge linebackers, stiff arm D linemen. I feel like he's a quarterback that provides the complete package, and he can throw the ball he can throw the hell out of the ball. He's a leader. I've seen his approach change this year as well, as far as what kind of how he's been. He's a playful guy. He has a lot of fun out there. He kind of keeps things light. But he also, this year, I kind of feel like he kind of taking that charge. I feel like he's stepping into that. I mean, he's been QB1, but he's stepping into that realm of I know I'm talented. I know what I can do, and I'm trying to do everything I can to win.
Do you think that's a natural evolution of a player there, especially at the quarterback position? Do you think the way he had acted because of how old he was, what he has experienced, what he hadn't experienced? Do you think this is just a maturation of him becoming a full face of a franchise?
The man.
Yeah.
The man. I say the man, just because coming in is kind of hard to, you don't know what you're getting in quarterbacks. You can assume what you can get, but over the past couple of years, you've seen the maturation process of a guy keep continuing to get better. And that's what you want from a quarterback position, especially as a receiver, a guy that continue working at his craft, continue to try to put you in positions to really have success. So I feel like it was inevitable as far as the type of guy he is and the type of time that he puts in. He was bound to be that guy. He was bound to be the guy at one point. You know what I'm saying? It just happened sooner than later, I guess.
Was it bullshit or real? You guys, as soon as you hung out the first time, hey, we're gonna be boys. Was that kind of because you? No,
that wasn't bullshit. That was real shit. It was COVID. We played some Call of Duty and shit like that. So he really did revive me a couple of times, and I was like, damn, yeah, all right, you might not be half as bad, but shit. When we got the first time working out, and I kind of met him, and we kind of had a little bit of an energy, all right, damn, I kind of like him. He's not that bad. I never had another quarterback, and I've had 5 quarterbacks since I've been in the league at that time. But when I met him, I was like, he might not be that bad. He might be all right.
Yeah, because coming out of Minnesota, everybody knew you were incredibly talented, but had no idea what had happened. You were fucking great over there. Why is it not working? Then you go to Buffalo. It's this rebirth. Now you're wildly wealthy. Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Wildly wealthy.
Resurgence. It's like resurgence. They brought me back. They brought me back to life. And I feel like the culture kind of embraced me as well, as far as like the type of player that I was and, what I brought to the table. They just, embraced me wholeheartedly. And they was like, look, go out there and be yourself. I'm still grateful for that up to this day.
That's awesome to hear. And thank you for saying that. Is that why you think like when a guy like Von Miller comes in or anybody else comes in, the Bills are just built right now? The culture's already built. You're either going to fit in or you're going to not make the team. Is that kind of the mindset up there right now?
100%. But I feel like, a lot of guys, like some guys perceivably have like a bad rep or anything, but everybody on our team really is like good people for the most part. Like, from what I know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what people do behind those doors, but my personal relationship and professional, I've seen nothing but good things from these people. They work hard as shit. They good teammates. And I feel like it's like that culture that makes you like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying? They're winning here. They're doing everything in their power to make adjustments, and we added players, adding the right pieces. And I think that's why I make it easier for guys to be like, yeah, like, I want to go play over there. Like, shit, they winning, they got the right mindset. And I feel like we be having fun. Like, football can kind of turn into a job for a lot of guys.
Groundhog Day.
Team, I feel like we having hella fun.
Groundhog Day, man. It just gets so repetitive in there. It does look like you guys are always 100%. Fucking dancing. I mean, there's always Josh Allen doing some. It's awesome. That's a real thing, though. That can change a whole season.
Exactly, especially cultural. I mean, just for us to keep things like, I got a guy at quarterback that I mean, I'm not going to. He hits me in the nuts like probably like every other day.
Wow,
bully! He has a joke for me like every week. Like, so it's like even when you're dragging, or you might be feeling like, man, I'm tired right now. They ain't gonna let you be that way. It's too many guys on the team. Like, nah, we got work to do. So you better get in a better mood.
That's awesome.
Are you guys on offense excited to watch your defense play, and also a guy like Von Miller? I know they brought him in, they say, to kind of be the closer and to finish games for you. And second part of that question, is that a sweet Backstreet Boys T-shirt you are wearing right now?
Yeah. Oh,
there we go. They're on tour.
Oh, wow. That's sweet. Yeah. They're back.
I forgot your question because I was so focused on the team.
Von Miller, him closing games out.
The defense.
It's definitely been exciting. Like seeing a guy like that in person, like seeing a guy like that, like shit, like come off the edge, damn near can ruin the practice if you let him, just because like he's making so much havoc. He's getting to the quarterback. Those plays where everybody's arguing like, damn, that would have been a sack, or no, that wouldn't have been a sack. His shit be real close to being a sack. So it's like I think coach has to let him know a couple times to ease up. Like, all right, give us a look right here. Let us get a play or two. Because he'll be so disruptive, but it's something to enjoy from the offensive position to be like, damn, like we're gonna have some extra possessions. Like I feel like we're gonna get the ball back. We got that. We got him. We got Big Phil, Jordan Phillips, Tim. We got some guys, some third year guys, AJ Epineza, shit. Like we got guys that can play. So I think another guy to look out for, and I don't want to jinx it, but Greg is a baller.
Who?
He's came in with a different Greg. The DN.
Greg?
From Miami.
Russo.
His name's Greg?
I just call him Big G. He's real mild-mannered, but he's a dog. I feel like that second year jump is one of those guys that you need to keep your eyes out for.
Hey, fucking Big G's going to be a problem. Big G's going to be a problem. Can we go – how old are you, Stefan?
I'm 28.
So you're too young to even know that there was real NSYNC Backstreet Boys fandom beef back in the day.
Yeah, beef. I do know that, though. That's natural.
Well, I'm Justin Timberlake guy, through and through. Don't know how to tell you that.
You a JT guy?
Yeah, how could you not be? That's like I'm starting to question.
I'm a fan. I'm with you. As you can say, I concur. Like, I agree.
You're the man. Go ahead, Tone.
Stefan, do you like – now, who knows what they're going to do on defense, if they're going to mirror you or not, but do you like week one right out of the gate, you going against another dog in Jalen Ramsey?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I feel like this is what this game's made of. You know, we got one of the toughest schedules. People don't even think we have a tough schedule probably, but our first 4 or 5 games are damn near primetime games. You know, it's fitting that we jump off the fan with the first game of the season. I feel like last year we were cut short, and for many reasons. But this is that game that you wanted. This is the game that we wanted. Something that we are excited about. I'm excited about. I can't wait.
Let's not do any competitive advantage and give anything away. But do you feel like you picked up right where you left off? I mean, literally, your last game ended in like the best spot for your offensive side, and we got a lot of love for the defense. Poyer, Hyde, like we love everybody on the defensive side. They're great on our show. But the conversation all offseason was obviously the coin toss, and your offense was not unstoppable at the end of the season. When you come back into training camp, is it like you guys are picking up because of the veteran experience that you have on there, or is there still that process of having to ramp up? Week 1's nowhere near what week 15 will be. Is that still a thing? You guys could still get better?
It's a little bit of both. You know what I'm saying? You have some camaraderie that you've built for the past couple of years, a couple key things that you might be comfortable with, but it's always a learning curve as well. I feel like we watch more film now on specific routes than we did before because it was a lot more so off of talent and improv and getting open and that kind of thing. But now it's more so like, all right, well, what are we doing right here? What's the plan right here? What's the backup plan? What's plan A? What's plan 1A? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it is some carryover, but at the same time, you still got to work your way back to hitting on all cylinders.
Can't wait to watch what that offense grows into after, if you're going to get better off of fucking last year. You guys were electrifying to watch. Connor, your question.
Yeah, Stefan, you added to the D-line, but you also took a corner in the first round this year, Elam. Have you had to give him a couple welcome to the NFL moments and kind of show him the ropes?
On his ass. We've been on his ass 100%. I feel like he's a young guy that's built for it, though. Like, he came into camp with the right mindset of I'm trying to get better, and we've been on his ass 100%. Like, I told – as a receiver, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to make it easy at all because the conversations we're having with him is if it's hard right here, it'll be easier in the game. And sometimes that is true. Like I feel like we have some exceptional receivers guys that can get open, catch the ball. So in practice, you ain't gonna do nothing but get better. And it's a big ask from a young corner. You know, everybody's talking about ignore the noise, and this is a guy that's coming in the first round and need him to play. We need him to play. We need him to play well. So. I feel like he's been a professional. He's been grinding, and I can't wait to see him. I can't wait to see him in action.
Last question here, Stefan from Ty.
Stefan, I know he was the quarterbacks coach last year, but Ken Dorsey is his first year as you guys' offensive coordinator. Has there been any kind of learning curve with him coming in, or when you have vets like you and Josh kind of, in your rooms steering the ship, has that transition been smoother than you maybe expected?
It's been a lot smoother, especially considering he was already kind of like a part of our team already. He kind of already had somewhat personal relationships with not only me, Josh, and the other receivers. We spoke every day. We had a million walkthroughs, so it just kind of worked out that he stayed in the building and he got the OC job. So I feel like when you have those veteran guys and those professionals, it's a lot easier for him to really be like, okay, these are some of the plays you feel comfortable with. It's more like an open dialect on okay, this is what works. This is what I've watched hundreds of hours, and this has worked for us. Let's tailor it up to try to do it XYZ way and continue to have success at it. So I feel like it was a smoother process than I anticipated. But, nothing is going to be perfect. It's going to be this year is its own entity, and it's going to be something we're going to have to figure out anyway.
Man, you're awesome on the show every time you come on. We appreciate the hell out of you.
Thanks, boss. I appreciate you.
Hey, you're a good punter, right? I think I've seen you punt a ball after.
I'm nice as shit. Good.
Are you doing that this year? Is that a celebration, or you get fined for that?
I always punt the ball in the stands, and I've got fined multiple times. So if you're telling on me right now?
No. I'm saying if you make one into I'll donate a pretty. If you
in the uppers, what are you donating though? One of those
you tell me
out of the stadium.
Build things?
No, those.
Double header.
I mean, if that's what you want, hey, if you want the,
I don't want that.
No, okay. Listen, I was saying it was your decision. Where I'll donate.
You punt a Bildo, I'll donate.
All right. So, 20,000 from me if you punt one, and it's it has to go. Where do you normally? You're kind of setting the standard here right now.
Probably upper level.
Whoa.
Okay, so if you go on to the upper level, and we'll find out because people will have cell phones. I'll donate 25 grand to any Bildo charity or any charity that you would like. And if you punt a Bildo, AJ will donate 25 grand.
Yep. There you go.
Right,
Yes.
AJ?
Yeah.
25 grand.
Bet good.
All
It's
right.
got to at least get in the stands, though.
I got you. Yeah.
That's gonna
Tough
hurt.
to punt a Bildo. You better pick a big one.
All right. I would like to get to this because I enjoy good business. and you and your brother have signed up to do good business with Saks, obviously the boxer brief brand. Saks, S-A-X-X, have named Stephon and Trevon Diggs chief ball officers.
Hell yeah.
Here we go.
The Diggs brothers have always wanted to be on the same team, so Saks was able to bring them together for this unique opportunity. The chief ball officers will represent Saks throughout the football season and help them with new products and you're a fucking designer.
Wow.
Huh? Look at you. In sync shit, maybe. Saks is giving fans skin in the game by offering 10% off flash deals at Saks.com, SAXX.com, every time Stephon scores a touchdown this year, or every time Trevon gets an interception. Promo codes will be shared in real time on social media. Saks is famous for its patented ballpark patch, a hammock-shaped compartment built into every pair of underwear that's designed to cradle the balls and deliver friction-free support below the belt.
I love that.
Love that.
Hey, congrats on that, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good business.
Thanks, guys.
That's a good idea. Score a lot of touchdowns so I can get 10% off.
And see what I can do. I can see what I can do. I'll see what I can do.
All right, my banana hammock, I'm only paying 90% for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephon Diggs.
Yes,
All right, he's awesome every time he comes on. AJ. He's awesome every
He's
time he comes.
filthy at football.
He is very good at the football. Resurgence, he said. Oh, I didn't even get to ask about his brother fucking deleting Twitter.
Oh.
Come on, dude. Amateur hour.
Feel Good Friday. Keep it positive.
Yeah.
Well, I was also going to ask Aaron about what games he was all perked out of his mind on. Because he
yeah.
talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
That fucking slipped my mind, too. I've had two in the batter's box. You know what I mean? Just-
Definitely the Bears game when he came back
At
in after halftime. He was a little loopy in the post game presser.
And he was only saying that because of how big of a problem it was in the league. So, like, talking about cannabis or anything else has to be a good conversation health-wise for players as opposed to just go ahead and flopping pain pills everywhere, which I'm not going to say I experienced it, but I'd heard stories that was rampant around the NFL, and I think around all leagues almost at one point. We're in an evolution right now, AJ. We're kind of turning a new era, transition for a lot of different things, and this show will always be stupid.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know. Were you in the league when they cut down, like they made crazy restrictions on giving any kind of medication out where to get into the room that even housed them, you had to have a key card and they documented each time that door was ever open so people couldn't get in there and take them and abuse them and all that.
Do we remember what that was because? That was because of the big thing that happened at the one team we don't have to talk about? One big event? Or
It's definitely part of it. Yeah, I think that was a big thing that kind of spurred it on, right?
And you
Made
can
it go.
Google that if you want, but I wonder if they had gotten research too about how much damage all
Probably.
this shit is probably
Yeah.
doing too, and those two kind of collided at the same time, you know?
Yeah, they had to. Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, we've said before, guys get hooked in a week. So, yeah, it's not safe.
And we have to remember as we go through this world that we are very lucky to live in right now
Goddamn right.
because we could just be dead.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So you might as well say it's lucky to be here, even though it seems like all fucking hell is breaking loose all the time. And what is the sky doing? It's starting to showcase new stuff
All the time.
all
Daily.
the time.
Too often.
There's new shit popping up
Settle
in the sky.
down, Sky.
Hey, Sky, fucking relax,
Calm
huh?
down.
I've been wondering for a long time, but now all of a sudden I'm like, whoa. There's a rainbow circular cloud just sitting up in the sky. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is a scarf cloud over.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, never heard of that before.
on.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's when the moon hits the lights
That
in the
could
big.
be,
Yeah,
sure.
that's what somebody would tell me.
That's
Oh, well, when the sun hits the
Nine
sun.
tails.
All right, dude. Whatever. But anyways, we're lucky to be alive in the time that we are in.
Yes.
Okay? But we have to recall that all the information we have now, we didn't necessarily have at a lot of different times of life, in a lot of different times when decisions were made. So, like, the learning about whatever being terrible for you is happening in real time in different eras. And now we just have the great ability of hindsight to kind of look back on it. But I think the NFL, I assume behind the closed doors, they're like, hey, pain pills are a problem.
Definitely.
And then whenever it got like kind of spotlighted into the big situation popped off, it was almost like they used it as an excuse. And then you're right, it was almost like a close.
Crackdown.
It was hey, no more. And you had a lot of guys that were like, whoa,
Dependent on it.
Yeah, like whoa, what's going on? Same thing almost happened with Toradol.
Yeah.
Toradol, same thing almost happened where Green Bay never used, which that's why you guys don't win Super Bowls over there.
Bingo.
If you guys
Could have had 6 or 7.
it's literally walking into a kitchen let's say it was a bunch of chefs were competing for a bazillion-dollar prize.
Guy Fieri.
Okay, Guy Fieri would be one of them. He'd lose probably to
Whoa.
any of the other ones.
Whoa. Gangster?
Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay.
No, Bobby.
Mario?
Salt Bay?
He'd lose.
Bobby
Salt
gets
Bay,
beat
I don't
all
even
the
know if
time.
he cooks anything. I think he just does the thing.
Morimoto?
But I have respect for all of these chefs. And Bo, I think there's a guy named Bo, something I've eaten at his restaurant in Arizona. It's the most high society.
David Beckham's kid does it too. He's
Bo's
a
a
chef.
judge on
Really?
Triple G, so yeah. He's
Respect to all the chefs, but let's just say all of the chefs that we just mentioned and more were competing for a bazillion-dollar prize.
Yeah.
And there was one ingredient that said, hey, every food that you're going to make is going to be better with this ingredient. You just use this, it's going to everybody would use it. That's what Toradol is. Toradol is like, it is the ingredient that just immediately makes your body feel better. And they almost did away with that. And there was almost a mutiny almost from the players. They're like, no. You can do whatever you need to do about concussions. You can do whatever you need to do about pain pills. I understand that. Toradol is not going anywhere, though. Toradol is sticking around. I'm not just talking about on our team. I'm talking about that actually happened. The NFL banned Toradol for like a 2-week period. And then all of a sudden, quietly in the night, it was like, Toradol is still available, but it's going to be treated a little differently. It's like
I have to sign a waiver now. That's usually what happens. Everyone signs a waiver if you're going to get it.
Exactly. The NFL is like, we are telling you that there's no way that this thing that makes everybody feel better all the time is good for you in the future. With that being said, if you still want to take it, sign your name right here. Yeah. Do I sign it in blood? Is this good for next year? Do I have to do this every single year with my knees? I don't know how you. Honestly,
It's a good thing I never got it because then I would need it. I'm sure. I'd be like, wow, this is amazing.
and you'd never get addicted to it because it's an injectable, right?
It's anti-inflammatory, right? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a lot of guys that haven't really played games without it. They only know what it's like to play games with it.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about from the Colts. You're not just talking about the Packers don't, but I know every team but Green Bay. I was so surprised when you said, nope, we don't do it. I'm like, you guys aren't trying to win. You guys are like the fucking Bengals with no indoor practice facility. Yeah. That's what I'm starting to look at. Well, they care about players more. It's like, all right, I can respect that. I can appreciate that. With that being said, probably losing a game or two a season. Because if I had to guess, I don't want to put a spotlight on injecting more drugs into people, but it is certainly a game changer. But the NFL has evolved, I think, in their views on things. And although it's probably never properly timed, not soon enough, I do believe that the NFL will continue to attempt to evolve. You know what I mean? To save the game, because that's covering their ass, basically.
They have to. They want the league to continue to grow. They don't want anything to derail that. And obviously taking care of the players and making sure they're okay post-football, I think, is a part of that.
Is ayahuasca legal or not?
Should be.
It's a good question.
From that conversation. But,
know
I
how
mean,
it goes, it's probably
you see that already with the Guardian caps, right? Like they're trying to do, that kind of change to, limit the amount of impact on the head.
10%.
10%. There it is, yeah.
Do we have any numbers yet? How many guys were saved?
Those are just
10%.
No,
10%.
Those are just one-on-one collisions, too.
Well,
20%
yeah.
if it's-
No, 20% one-on-one.
Double
collision.
up, 20.
If you're all by yourself, run into a wall with that helmet on, 10%.
10%.
Yes, correct.
You run into somebody else, 20%. They actually said,
third.
and I think I got sources that have told me this, 200 million% was sold or saved.
Saved.
This training
Collectively?
camp. Yes,
Yeah,
collectively.
That makes sense.
200 million.
So that's worth it.
percentage saved.
On those numbers,
It's a
eh?
big
about that,
success.
AJ.
Think about how many players are in the NFL and how many brains were just put together in 200 million%. If you take 10% and go and divide that 200 million, think about all the brains that were saved.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
A ton.
It's fucking unbelievable. the
Coaches should probably wear them next year then.
How come we're not
don't
doing
be
like
an
a fucking prayer circle around the Guardians? If you think about how many brains
Yeah.
what were you going to say, Zito?
I have a theory that the Guardians, these low block stuff that's been happening, the Guardians are weighing these players down, so they're so used to being up now.
Could be. Could be.
So all these low blocks now.
Let's get to a break. I mean, let's think on that.
Yeah.
I mean, the no Toradol thing, though. That was that Packers Super Bowl the most impressive Super Bowl of all time?
All time.
The period that it was in.
Longest season.
Yeah, the longest possible season.
Boom. Heads just.
One
That was
bye
old school
week.
CBA too with full go two-a-days from day one, full pads.
No, this guy's got zero cartilage in his knees.
None.
Toradol was actually created for this man's knees. So that people like him who have no cartilage or next to no cartilage and it's just annoyed and inflamed in your knees, joints, shoulders, elbows, literally everything, this will help for 24 hours. You're going to feel it afterwards.
Okay.
This is not an invincible situation. It is just, Hey, you're gonna be able to move a little bit freer, like you maybe when you were like 22, 23 years old, maybe when you were 16 before this guy got his knee surgery, and he didn't do any of it.
No.
It's unbelievable.
Still won the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
You think it'll ever be banned for good?
Maybe this next generation seems to not do.
Are colleges still doing it?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no
If they
idea.
stop doing it in college and the kids aren't asking for it, then that's how you can see it go away.
West Virginia didn't do it in college, I don't think.
Really?
That happened at Ohio State?
I don't think I don't know. I mean, guys, if they're hurt, got something. Maybe they did. I don't know. I never did.
And I never got Toradol until after my first surgery in the league. So you had to. I couldn't just walk in and say, "Give me Toradol." Like you had to have.
Prerequisites.
You had to have something that was happening. But once you got on that list, it was a good day.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am able to get.
point.
Okay, sweet. Pulling right there in my ass.
Do it.
Give me a full right there. Yeah, thank you. Ooh, a little stiff today. Working a little stiff there, Doc. What is that? Is that an 18 gauge?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Diesel needle.
Hey, you pouring diesel in there, bro? And then all of a sudden you just start. Oh my God! I wasn't a guy that ever stretched or warmed up, but it happened much faster.
Touching your nose with your toe.
There's pictures of me with my fucking legs straight up. I can't even touch my toes.
J.K. Scott.
Exactly. I'm sure he's not. Well, he's at the Packers.
No.
I look like J.K. Scott.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I look at Hunter Smith. There's a photo of Hunter Smith outside the special teams room when I first got there. And he punted for the Colts for like 10 years or whatever. And I was just literally learning how to punt, like trying to figure it out. There's this photo of this guy's fucking leg just like hitting himself in the shoulder straight up over top. And I remember one morning just looking at it and being like, I'm never going to be able to do that. Like, is this a prerequisite for the job? Because I don't think I'm ever going to do that. That ain't ever going to happen. And I found my way, and I blew my knees out doing it. Sure. But it was fun. It was a fun time, and Toradol helped, obviously, through it. I would not recommend it unless you need it, but that's what we're saying about the pill stuff. You know, in the Aaron conversation about playing on perks, like, hey, we're in a different era when that shit was happening than we are now. I assume nobody likes that it was happening, especially with modern knowledge, but there's a lot of shit we can tap back into and be like, what were we doing? We're back in 5. Some phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line. Then we'll wrap up this beautiful Feel Good Friday, September 2nd, with a massive college football weekend in store. Big thanks to Stephon Diggs and Aaron Rodgers for joining us thus far. Yes. Phone calls are going to be good. We'll hit that on the other side. AJ, sound good?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
And then you got to go off into, booze the shit out of yourself.
What?
Make all his picks, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, who do you got for
Let's go,
the game?
AJ.
Who do you have?
For which ones? The college games this weekend?
I won't give it away. Don't give it away. Do it tomorrow.
Just the ones you have
See you
on
in
the
5.
It really comes down to, and pardon my French, but giving less fucks. I think that it's a maturity that comes from aging, from making mistakes, from failing, from being too sensitive at times, from taking things too personal at times. And it's about growth and learning not to be indifferent, because I think indifferent people are terrified of making choices, and it's a cold place to live. It's about choosing what to care about, and the things that you do care about, it's less things. It's not trying to be a part of every conversation or get involved in everything or setting yourself up to be offended about certain things. It's caring more about specific things and less things, and with those things, it's finding ways to solve the problems, because true happiness doesn't come from eliminating all problems in your life. I believe it comes from solving the problems that you have and dealing with the pain and the suffering that is natural in life and is a part of life. It's not fleeing from pain and suffering and running from those things and not dealing with the emotions of situations. It's looking at those head on and saying, how can I solve these problems and make my life a little bit better? And that's what I've tried to do the last couple of years, and I've talked about in the show as well. It's about perspective. And I truly believe this, when you focus on the things that you have more than the things that you don't have, you allow yourself to let gratitude sink in. And when the gratitude sinks in, it is always accompanied by joy. because you're focusing on the blessings that you have, not on the things that you don't have, the things you wish you had, the way you wish your life was that much better, you wish you had this, you wish you had that. You'll always be unsatisfied. But when you take solace in the fact that you're where you're supposed to be, and that life is going to come at you with pain and suffering and failure and frustrations and mistakes, and just trying to solve those problems and do a little bit better next time, it allows you to, I think, be a little gentler with yourself and admit that you're a human, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be a 500-pound elephant of possibly hatred and malice waiting for you, whatever decision you make, and that's just part of life. You got to deal with it and just try and be better the next time.
So you feel freer, it feels like, huh? You kind of feel free.
Yeah, there's a liberation that comes from caring less about the things that don't really matter in this life, I think. And I will say, if anything, and I know the two of you, the best on this show, so I won't speak for the other boys, but I'm sure they're very similar. There's a lot of joy in being unapologetically yourself. And I think in life, we respect people the most often who are that way, who don't try and change or be different or, grow meek in situations that require courage, that go quiet in situations that require communication. And that's what I appreciated in both your friendships, is that you guys have always been yourselves. And Pat, I haven't known you as long as I've known AJ. I sat next to AJ for 9 years, and I had so much love for him and appreciation for the friend that he is. But I always admired and was inspired by the fact that AJ was always himself. And he believed that who he was exactly who he was supposed to be, and he didn't have to be different or put on a face for anybody. He was unabashedly himself, and I think there's a lot to be, gained from doing it that way. And what I love about you and the boys is that's who you are. You guys show up every single day, not with an agenda, but with an open mind, and create conversations around important topics, and then you just be yourselves.
There's me holding for you. Okay, I'm one of the greatest holders in the history of the NFL. You can go and look at stats and percentages of made kits. I also enjoy seeing other people shine. You'll pull it back just like you're golfing or just like a shooting game with your thumb. The wind in the top right corner is something you will have to pay attention to. And as you get rolling, the more kicks you make in a row, the more money and the higher the score gets generated. There's obviously things you'd like to hit. There's a lack of a fan, lower left. There's a golden ball there, top left, in which you can put in if you're going to miss and make. The game has so many different pieces to it. We're incredibly proud. And then that's a miss, obviously.
Good job, dude.
That's a terrible kick.
Not a good ball.
Oh, no.
Oh, hang on.
Lights are on.
Made it. No, I actually told him.
60?
Listen, Ty could go put a 20,000 piece on this if he wanted to right now. Ty and none of the boys at the office are up for any of the prizes, especially the week 1 prize. So there's a reason they've been playing for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There will be up and coming contests with this though next year or next week or maybe the week after that you'll have to beat or try to beat the highest.
Good for us, because 5 Hour Energy is sponsoring the phone lines. 5 Hour Energy gives you the alert, energized feeling you need to get in the zone and stay in the zone for the 6 days until NFL football.
Wow. That's not a lot of days.
No, think about it this time next week.
We're here.
I feel like it was 92 like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We're here.
Unbelievable.
We're here.
Sorry, I didn't mean
It's crazy. 7 days from now, we'll be talking about Bills Rams. Talking about what Stephon Diggs did on the field.
with some videos of it. Why?
If you look, Stephon Diggs got a touchdown. Then he punted that fucking ball into the roof of SoFi. Yeah, I can't wait. That's potentially 7 days away from right now.
Yeah,
Why?
exactly. In 10 days
God.
away from right now, we'll be talking about an entire Sunday slate.
Thunderdome, very close.
Yes.
Here
now
we
we're
go.
talking.
We overreacted on Mondays again, or
We don't know about real. We are, yeah.
okay?
This talk is really good. Hey. 5 Hour Energy, sorry.
5 Hour Energy, yeah. Go to 5 Hour Energy's website to find over 15 flavors to choose from, with flavors like watermelon, tropical burst, blue raspberry, peach mango, and AJ's favorite, cherry. There's a flavor for everyone. You can use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off your order at 5hourenergy.com. Promo code McAfee.
Hell yeah.
My favorite is the classic berry, extra strength. Come on.
Hell yeah.
You can get
They're
them
all
at,
good.
You can get them at gas stations one at a time and then be pissed tomorrow when you don't have one.
Sure.
Or you can just go right to 5hourng.com and get a batch of them and just boop, pick them in your pocket on the way out. They are delightfully tasting.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, too. You just go to 5hourng.com and just use the promo code McAfee. It's just a simple 10% off, and you get a bunch at once.
Boom. It's just how if I was to do it,
Yes.
which is how we do it here,
Right.
I would do the same thing. Give me a pallet almost.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't want to have to go get one every single day. Just give me the pallet.
Yeah, look how cool the thing looks, the display at the gas station. How come they get
Sweet.
that?
Sure.
And I don't?
Yeah.
Well, you can at your house. You get
Yeah.
the whole box.
Do
Pop
it.
Boom.
that thing
Bingo.
open.
Boom. Put it
And
in the
it's
kitchen.
cheaper.
You are all of a sudden the gas station that you're only stopping at so you can get a shot of energy. Boom. You don't have to. It's in your fucking kitchen. Boom.
Boom. You
Boom.
smoke darts, you still got to
Boom.
go, but you don't have to buy 5 hour energy.
You don't even smoke darts anymore. Also, Connor had been pitching this one hard.
Big time.
Hard.
Gassing it up.
Remember, he told me this thing tastes way better than the Quest
Look,
cups.
it looks terrible.
I'll tell you what, looks can be deceiving then. Delicious.
Nice.
3 net carbs though. So that's more than the Quest
What's a
cups.
net carb?
So you take the carbs, then you subtract the fiber, and then there's something else that's spelled that ends with an IOL at the end. You subtract as well. And basically, that's your net carbs as opposed to total carbs. Allegedly, I just read that on a keto meal.
Like this guy's not counting macros, dude.
Dude, he's probably weighing his. You weigh your food.
I never do that. I never got into that. No.
I've met a lot
Just
of people.
eat. I just eat.
You
That's what
forget
do.
we've been with you in a house. Like, we know.
Yeah, you're a
And
weird
I don't
eater.
measure anything. I just eat the same thing over and over.
Yeah, because they've measured it for you, and you already know what their measurements say. So
You bring your own
boom,
food to the
just
restaurant.
Got you.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Free
we
to cook it.
literally just caught you. You said that stuff. You've said that stuff to so many people, and we're just
What?
like, no. You might not be measuring at each individual time, but that's why you only order from one place because you've measured that in the past, and now you know exactly what it is. Yeah, we know your fucking game, AJ, because we have respect for it. The amount of discipline you have in the food game is
Uncanny.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is really, really impressive. Just because you're in Ohio, too. Like, it is very, very.
I don't have much discipline. I mean, it just depends what day it is, really.
Yeah, every day just so happens to have the same thing, though. So it depends what day it is, I guess.
The gull on you to say that you don't have discipline talking to this group of human beings.
Exactly. I go from 285. I can weigh 285 pounds. I have at this table on this screen before to 225 like that. That can happen. I don't know.
I mean,
both
not many
ways.
people can lose that much weight. That's impressive.
Yeah, not many.
Well, that's like, I guess I have the ability to display the discipline that you do every fucking day for a month if I have to. And then turns out I start getting a little bit antsy for that pizza again.
You see all the fatsos in this room, AJ?
So do I. What's that?
So you see all the fatsos in this room? We got problems, all right?
It's basically
Everybody looks good. I've seen Zeet's whole workout program. He's
I'm
on
off the
great
wagon.
path.
No, listen, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Nope. Can't.
No, I don't like
I
it.
had a Big Mac yesterday. I'm back.
All right.
And
He's
a
allowed
pizza
to.
2
You're
days
allowed
ago.
to.
I mean,
Yeah, this morning you weren't in yet.
Yeah,
but
Taco Bell.
Bell,
10:15.
10:15.
I can't.
Back on track this afternoon, Zeet.
That's
all
what,
that matters.
hey, AJ, this is what I'm saying too, because I'm currently in it right now. I'm doing the keto. I'm eating too many sweets, but I'm doing the thing. I'm doing the option that's healthier, as opposed to going straight to Domino's with those lava cakes. Oh my God. When you cut into that with the
Lava cake is amazing.
the powdered
like
sugar
you
on
know.
top. Oh,
Oh, chocolate goo.
he had one when he was a teenager. It was so good. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm staying away from that. I'm eating shit like this, and this is good. This is good. I
Delicious.
appreciate this. Thank you, Connor, for making me better.
Those remind me of those candy bars when you bought like as a kid or sold as a kid. That's what it exactly reminds me of.
Oh, like the fundraising ones with
World's finest
the
chocolate.
bland ass, basic
Boy
ass
Scouts?
wrapping.
See, sometimes we got Sarah's chocolate, which is
I
unbelievable.
think that's a Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah, that's
we
good
had those
chocolate.
as kids.
You had Sarah?
Yeah.
But you talking about that sweet?
Go Mustangs.
You talking about that sweet goo? Remind me of
Trying to raise money for the stadium.
Kanye googling cum donor.
Wait, excuse me?
Kanye came back to the internet, and I put it immediately upon seeing it on my story. Sam was actually scrolling through her phone. I was watching, I think, the Backyard Brawl, and she goes, "Oh, Kanye's back." And I said, "Kanye's back? Where is he? Is he okay?" And she said, "No, he's back." She loves the pop culture shit, right? She is a great person for me to get that particular information on what's going on. Kanye came back and he was firing yesterday. Hey, he was firing. And the thing I noticed first was that he actually Googled cum donors. Okay, instead of sperm donor or anything like that, he Googled cum donors, spelled donors Doners, obviously, and he called himself, Travis Scott, and Tristan that for the Kardashian Jenner family, and then he went on to do more. And I assume this is going to be pretty loud. I assume this is going to be, sounds like it's going to be pretty loud what Kanye is going through. Right now, what everybody's going to say is Kanye is going through a mental breakdown. Kanye is going to say he isn't. What's the truth? I don't know, Kanye. I have no fucking idea. I do not know.
He's an artist.
He is very creative. We've already seen all that. We've seen.
Wait, can I ask a question? How do you, okay? He posted that he Googled cum donors.
Well, he didn't post that he Googled cum donors, but he
Oh,
posted a
here we go.
screenshot that he was actively Googling cum donors. So I don't think he meant to tell everybody he had to Google cum donors, but I immediately said, oh, this guy Googled cum donors. This is awesome. Just thinking of Kanye sitting in that fucking barn he has over there in Montana, which is, or Wyoming, whatever it is, 10,000 square feet, wide open barn that's next to another 30,000 square foot one, just sitting on a regular folding chair that obviously has really comfortable, some sort of future fashion design on it, and just looking on his phone, fucking cum donors. And he's like, I'm going to get them today. And then,
imagine his cookies.
Yeah. He's going to have to clear that cash.
Crazy. Yeah, for sure.
But Kanye's back. For those of us that only know about sports, and maybe significant others of ours start doing it, there's about to be some real shit around the Kardashians and the Jenners. I believe Chris got called in last night. Chris got called in. She messaged Kim to message Kanye to please. I'm a 67-year-old woman, please. Stop. It brings me unwanted stress.
Wait, was this all on her story, or how did you see
This
all
is
this?
all on Kanye's Instagram. He deleted everything from beforehand, and then he posted yesterday. Bam, 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 I'm back.
Also he said, I hope Skeet's doing well in trauma with tattoos of my kids on him.
So I didn't see that particular one, but the internet.
You got the kids tattooed?
Yeah.
Got something.
And also, season 2 of The Kardashian comes out in September.
Shocker.
So,
And Tristan's having another kid. With
Keep watching, puppets.
Well,
Is he on the show?
so Kanye.
Sometimes.
I'm
On the
sure.
Hulu show?
I'm sure these tweets will be, or these Instagram posts will be on.
he was in season 1.
Chris, because Chris, she's 67. She ain't need these unwanted stresses, okay? Because Kanye posted that, okay? Hey.
What? Hey, what?
You hear me? What are you fucking laughing about? This is real. Kanye.
You always do that. You hear me? You heard me? You hear me? Hey, hey.
Hey. So Chris is she's 67. She's hanging out at home. Then all of a sudden,
She manifested this whole situation.
Well, Kanye said that she made Kylie and Kim go in pornography, and Hollywood's a brothel, and he posted a picture
I
of
gotta look him up.
Yes, it's all on his Instagram right now. Unless he deleted them, who knows? He is back. Kanye is back. I'm sorry about it. Their whole pop culture world's about to become a lot of toxicity, though.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's about to happen.
What stadium is he living in now?
Hey, Kanye, you ever want to come on the show? Love to have you. Come on in.
That'd be awesome.
Come on into the Thunderdome whenever we open it. Welcome to the Thunderdome, dude. Can't wait.
Play a little three-on-three game, and then the Thunderdome with him.
He is
Would love
a
to.
wet jumper.
I mean, it's former church. You could do a Sunday service there.
That too.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. I used to watch those.
Yeah, me too. When he started in just that little room, and then they were all the way out there. It really came to that congregation grew.
They did.
You know, a lot of generators out there when he was out there in the mountains doing
Probably.
I don't know. Do you ever see how they're... So, I heard one artist talk about what Kanye was doing. That artist was saying that they didn't like the fact that Kanye was letting the world see his creative process. So I guess musicians for a long time have been doing obscure shit to create albums, whether it's going and living in the woods or going into a cabin or the mountains or taking drugs or doing whatever to create this album and the whole thing. So I think I heard one artist on one show, and this is so bad of me not to know who it was or what the show was. I'm a part of the problem, I know. Okay, so I do apologize. But I think there's a lot of people that truly see Kanye for being like an absolute visionary genius because he's not the only one that does. The shit he does is to another level, but everybody kind of has it. And it's interesting because whenever he wants to do something, I mean, there's legions of people that are just immediately, hey, this is what we're doing now. Hey, we're wearing terrible sandals. Oh, now everybody wants to wear those sandals, though.
Marks.
I mean, that is what Kanye does, though. That is literally what Kanye has done, has proven to do, and should be treated as a guy that has done as such in the past because he'll do that whenever the fuck he wants. Right?
Yeah, and that's why that documentary is so fascinating because you kind of did get a peek inside like him before, he became Kanye West, while he was becoming Kanye West, and then like the after, which is like there are parts of it that are sad almost because you can't tell like, oh, okay, this guy isn't totally there anymore.
His mom was awesome, though.
Yeah.
His relationship with his mom was that documentary was sweet.
You can't deny, like, this dude loves music and he is super passionate about it. So you have to respect that, no matter what you feel about him.
He's super passionate about everything.
Yeah, you're right.
Everything he does.
I respect that when dudes are that all in on everything, like on what they love. Like, yeah, man, how do you not?
Yeah, that's respect.
So his family, obviously, is no longer.
They may not love it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure if you're living in it day to day, sometimes there could be some minor inconveniences that come with that, dealing with a guy like Kanye. But
I would assume
he does produce great albums, I guess.
And it's a one-on-one. You're with a one-on-one.
Uh-huh. Exactly. I mean, but like you said, too, like a couple more bangers here and there would be great because some of that early Kanye is just like, and now it seems like,
What are you saying? You want the old Ye?
Yeah.
The straight from the go Ye?
That's right.
Yeah. Is that what you want?
I mean, I just don't want to be on YouTube waiting 5.5 hours. Then Kanye comes on, does something very obscure that is cool, but it's like, oh boy.
His concert with Drake on Prime was pretty sick, though.
Really?
Do you remember that?
I remember it happening. I don't remember watching.
I remember the listening parties.
I was in LA at the time. You're talking about the Bears. You're talking about the Soldier Field.
Falcons.
Which Brad Biggs came on this show, Feel the Beat.
Yeah.
We appreciate. Hey, Brad Biggs,
Thank you, Brad.
Love to have you back. I don't know why you blessed us with the information that you blessed us with. Brad Biggs basically said, hey, that Anaheim plan thing's coming real soon. Yeah. And then that got picked up. And then yesterday, press conference, here we go. Arlington is happening with the Chicago Bears. There's a buyout after 2027 to get out of Soldier Field. That's like $87 or $97 million or whatever. And that's like they announced the plans of what they're going to do. The Chicago Bears are no longer playing in Soldier Field after the next 4 or 5 years, and they're going to be moving to Arlington. So look for Arlington to have a plaza, a casino, hotels, restaurants, shops, a whole experience, especially with a team like the Bears who have a lot of history, the museum that they can put in there, just like Lambeau has, just like New England has, just like Dallas has. There will be an entire world there for the Chicago Bears to build upon. It's great business. That's going to be a little bit different, though, huh? You Bears fans still going to be pumped about it or no?
Oh yeah, a new stadium's gonna be absolutely amazing.
Okay, so you don't mind that it's moving out of the city, right?
No, yeah, like Arlington Heights is like 45 minutes, so it kind of sucks in that. But you still have a skyline you could see. It's like, I don't know.
Is that where the practice facility is? Is it near there?
No, that's more north. So this is northwest.
How far is the practice facility, you think, from where this will be?
Probably under 30 minutes, probably.
Okay, it's
maybe 30, yeah.
Because the practice facility is like 45 minutes away, I think, from downtown Chicago, right?
Yeah.
It's way out there. So guys that play for the Bears, I think if they live in the city, they have to commute pretty good bit in the morning for work, or they live out.
Bless you.
It tastes too good.
Yeah.
So good.
Is the practice facility new though? Because could they build a new one in that Arlington Heights spot?
I assume they would, yeah. But that's what I'm talking about. Whenever you did woo, what'd you say? You made a sound there?
For what? For the Bears?
Whenever you said it was 45 minutes away from Chicago.
I felt far to me because I know Chicago, it could be 45 minutes or 2 hours. Doesn't matter. There's so much traffic.
Oh, yeah. Is Elon building the
Hyperloop.
The tunnel?
Boring company?
It's there already, right?
Is it?
So.
Wait, when will they break ground, though? They'll have this thing done before they move out of Soldier Field, right?
Yeah, they would
Obviously,
have to.
but I'm saying they're not going to, like, all of a sudden 2027, and now we break ground. We'll be in Soldier Field 2 more years.
Well, it seems like that's what every city did with COVID for construction.
Yeah.
You know, we had 2 years, and
right.
then we just said, fuck it. Once everybody's back, then we'll
Boom,
just
hit 'em hard.
We'll not let anybody be able to move. Feels like every city's done that, so let's hope Chicago doesn't do that or Arlington doesn't do that with this new Bears thing. Let's get ahead of it.
You mean like when the Vikings decided that they were going to play at the University of Minnesota outside for a year when it was -10 every year? Did you have to play up there?
Did you play in that? Yeah. Well, you guys had the legendary coldest game there, right?
I played there, but wasn't that partly because their dome collapsed? Remember that?
Yeah. That was the old dome, right? They were supposed to play in that until the new one was finished. Old dome, so old, deteriorates.
Sorry.
That was a part of. They were thinking about leaving Minnesota, right?
Yeah, there was speculation.
Ziggy Wolf?
They were. It was the old. Hey, if we don't get a new one, we'll.
We won't. You'll kind of force our hand. We'll have to go to L.A. Fuck. we'll have to leave. You don't pay for a new stadium. So I think that happened. Then they got agreed for a new stadium. Going to play it out in this old one. What's the name of the old dome?
Metrodome.
The Metrodome.
Yeah.
We're going to play it out, and then Snow said,
Not today.
we would like to say goodbye to this place as well. So they crashed through the goddamn roof. They have to play.
Yeah.
Wasn't Brett? Didn't Brett
Yeah.
like hit his head or something like that? Were you a part of that game?
When Brett hit his head playing outdoors in Minnesota?
Yeah.
I wasn't a part of that game, but no, I played against the Vikings when Teddy Bridgewater was the quarterback at Minnesota's college field.
Was it cold as fuck?
Cold turf, very hard. Yeah, it was Minnesota.
How cold though? Like alarmingly cold?
Yeah, I mean Minnesota gets so much snow too. I feel like
So
Minneapolis especially, and it was. I don't know exactly what it was, but yeah, it was not warm at all. I know that.
I think it was -13 when we played the Vikings.
Jesus Christ.
Just that was before winter. How do you measure that? How do you measure the absence of temperature at -13, and then that's before wind chill? They said. I'm like,
That's before wind chill. Okay.
Jesus.
what does that mean? How much colder could it get? I mean,
Is that
how
colder?
much colder can it get colder? And can you feel the difference between -13 and let's say -30?
Yeah.
Like it's
If it's windy, you know that it could be -5, but if there's not wind, it's actually bearable. It's okay. But when that wind picks up, it's nasty.
I guess stale cold. You're right. I guess you can deal with
It's
it.
much more manageable. Yeah.
Yeah. You agree.
Was
But still,
Buffalo-
is -5 with wind? That feels like -10. Is that the same as -30 feels like? At what point is your body just like, it's fucking,
Very well said.
it is unbearably cold right now, you know? Like that's
Cold
what
is cold. Yeah, like those games I'd go out for warm-ups, and I'd wear like in Green Bay you could get these kind of like scuba gloves that you could wear when it was really cold. They're Nike thick. I wore them a few times, or you always wear like little liners under my football gloves too. And you always think they might help. They don't really do much, but you go out for warm-ups and legit 90 seconds in, I wish my fingers were numb. Like they're not numb. They just feel like there's needles sticking through all of those and my feet. So go right as soon as warm-ups are over, put my helmet in the sauna, sitting there for a half a second, try to get my fingers back, and then go out for the kickoff.
I don't know how you guys had to hit each other like that. Like warm-up hits? I don't know how you got through warm-up
Those
drills.
are not fun. Those are absolutely not fun.
I remember watching those. Me and Vinny would be sitting on like the heated bench or whatever, and we'd have the poncho, the big fucking warm poncho, backwards, right? So we
Smart.
could
Little Dutch oven you make yourself there.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not shitting my pants yet, but yes, it is. It's certainly an oven that you are cooking yourself in. And we're just sitting there for the warm-ups as fans are piling into this fucking stadium, and we're watching our teammates just do individual drill where it's like shuffle, fucking kind of
Engage.
it's kind of I don't know. It's a full strike.
Yeah, come on, we got to get some pop, especially if it's that cold. Your coaches are obviously pissed that they think there's no juice. So we've got to get some pops in. Let's see the pads going. And then all of a sudden, guys are on the ground.
Yeah, and with me and Vinny are just sitting there like, man, today's a good day to be the guy that only kicks the ball. Because these guys are getting hit before they get. This hits mean nothing. This means absolutely nothing. And every single fucking bash to the jaw that happens just has to hurt so much more in those fucking cold weather games.
Hey, those are the warm-ups. That made me think of TJ. I don't know how you guys would do warm-ups. You do individual, all this stuff, pat and go, offense, and then you come together and run like 3 or 4 plays, ones-on-ones, 1-0 against 1-B.
Yeah.
And that's those little sessions where maybe the defensive coaches are a little juiced up and want you to come downhill a little bit or whatever. And if you would come like, and it's freezing cold and you hit Sitton or TJ like and jam a finger, you hit him when it's freezing, that's when those dudes get legit really pissed.
What the fuck are you doing,
And
man?
I'd be like, hey man, you see these guys, you see my coaches, they're losing their mind. You're like, all right, man, all right.
All right, man. What if TJ Lane just started swinging on
Yeah,
you?
fight.
Oh no, he's got a rock head, man. That dude, he would blast me in warm-ups all the time.
So Kuhn, TJ Lang, Sitton, you just the hardest heads in the NFL. No Toradol. We're playing old school football. If we could take these Rydell's off, we think that would be an advantage for our team.
No, I don't. I want to wear a helmet. Are you kidding me?
It's a weapon. I get it. Yeah, that's why you're thinking that. But if you had to,
You can't use your head if you don't wear a helmet.
yeah. If everybody had to take helmets off, though, I feel like
It'd be rugby.
Yeah, but your team.
your team
Yeah.
though would be benefactors from that rule. I think.
I see where you were going with that.
I mean, you wanted to get your shots in. Yeah, you wanted to get your shots in. I hate that. Like, I'm from Pittsburgh, obviously. You're from Ohio. We grew up in the cold. Okay, I grew up in the fucking cold. There's blizzards. I had missed school. There's ice. I hate the fucking cold, though. I hate when people are like, oh, he's from Pittsburgh. He'd be okay.
Well, it gets used to it. Nope, gets worse as you get older, actually, I think.
Yeah, I still fucking hate it. Let's not get crazy. Oh, you're wearing long sleeves. I thought you were from Pittsburgh. I am. Yeah, we learned these fucking work. Dude, like, like when it's really cold, like this is you're probably gonna see me with gloves on too, if I had to guess. And I'm gonna fucking use this heated bench we have over here. It is something as you grow older, the less amount of cold air you ever want to feel in your fucking body.
We may not hate it as much as people who have never experienced it their whole life, but it still fucking sucks no matter where.
No, people that never experience it, it's a celebration. It's like
a little
seeing snow.
It's a novelty.
Snow's great,
This is
snow.
cool.
Oh my god, I play a game of snow.
Yeah.
That's like that whole thing, and I'm like, another game. Fucking cold. It'd be nice if we get a little sun around here.
Manti Te'o, Notre Dame.
Exactly. Never seen. Yeah, but third, fourth quarter though, the novelty does wear off. I think.
Absolutely.
Don't you think?
Cold practices too, though. We had a lot of cold outdoor practices. Those can get difficult.
We did as well, and I hated whenever I said that about the Bengals indoor practice facility. Like, build a fucking indoor practice facility. I get a bunch of Bengals players. Oh, sorry. We're Ohio guys. We practice outside. It's like, yeah, you can fucking practice outside. Yeah. We're just talking about like extra reps and not getting pneumonia or, having to worry about a car crash on the highway over top of the thing, or after hours. Maybe you don't want to turn on the lights to the entire outdoor practice facility. You can go in your indoor facility. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, sounds soft to me. You can do all that outside. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm sure you can. Be a human, though, as well. And that's the whole game of the whole thing.
That's unbelievable to think of, like, not having any reprieve from that. It's like, hey, we did. Listen, guys, you get it. It's going to be cold today, okay? It's going to be cold tomorrow and the next day and the day after. Like, that's unbelievable.
Depending upon who you play, though, that is how practices go. Practice outside, you're playing an outdoor game. Practice indoor, you're playing an indoor game. That's just, like, standard operating procedure.
In Cincinnati, though, they did the schedule where you come in, meet, breakfast, whatever, get your jersey on, go walk through, and then come back, have lunch. It's like that's kind of the old school formula that some coaches used to do. I'm sure they still do. But we would take 20 minutes to get dressed for walkthrough because we would walk through on the game field in Cincinnati. So you're in there in the stadium, go to your locker, guys are putting starter coats on in 35 layers just so you can do walkthrough out there in the freezing cold.
It wouldn't be bad, to maybe be able to move a little bit during a walkthrough.
Yeah. Or see a coach's face. He's so bundled up I can't even see him.
Made a Super Bowl with all this. Made a Super Bowl. Ridiculous. Think about what this team's going to be able to do. Like, I like the Bengals a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I like the Bengals a lot all of a sudden. Joey Burrow, too, seems like a guy we'd like.
O-line.
He wants to go to dive bars. Respect.
Yes. Joey Burrow's a guy that we like. Now, I do believe he probably could. If you go to the right dive bars, you probably could.
I thought so.
Probably scared to do it, though, because everywhere he goes, he says it's a full production. I thought that was a great way to describe what life is like probably in the public for him and other people that are like him. It's always a scene. There's always going to be something.
Especially here, though. Like, Joe Burrow is nationally, internationally around the world is known and loved. But in Ohio, man, it's a different thing. Like, people, they've always loved him, but they are just obsessed now because he is. Like, how in the world did this happen? The Bengals were lucky enough to get Joe Burrow, and he's already done this so early in his career.
And he seems to be so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, just seems to be like the coolest dude of all time. Saw him at the UFC fight, coolest looking fucking guy of all time. Didn't even know who he was. He was so fucking cool. For like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I just fucking had a full, oh my God, this guy's so cool spell kind of tossed over top of me that I talked to him. He's so good at football. Hey, you're a homebody now, though, Joe. That's what it is. That's just kind of how this goes. It becomes a full, and I think he knows that.
He knew that at LSU. I mean, LSU, that dude is a god. So I'm sure that he couldn't go anywhere.
I think those quarterbacks have to live that different life for a long time. I remember thinking about that with like Manziel whenever he came out. I was like, hey, you just party at home now, dude. Like
bring it to your house.
Like somebody just needs to tell him, like, hey, you just party at home now. That is how it goes. It sucks. I understand. Believe me, I'm a person that enjoys going out, but I'm not a person that's as popular as you are, as known as you are, or somebody that's going to try to egg you into a situation as much as you are. You used to party at home, but some guys can't do it. Feels like Joey Burrow's bought all the way the fuck in that who he is, what he is, how he is. It'd be nice to go to a dive bar every once in a while, but To each your own. Let's kind of move on. That fucking guy's going to be a guy for a long, long, long time. Everybody loves him. The analytics people love him. The super football film people love him.
Yep.
The technique people fucking love him. Everybody loves that guy as a prospect and as a quarterback. Good for Cincinnati. And they have an indoor practice facility that's currently being built.
Yeah, and they have Jamar Chase. Like, I feel like how many teams in the NFL are looking for either a number one stud wide receiver or the guy at quarterback, and they have them both, and they're both under 25.
Ty, what do you think of the Bengals? You like them?
Yeah, very much so.
I do too. They're bringing in a bunch of tight ends, though. They feel like they're weak in the tight end position.
But Joe Mixon, like, no one really talks about him that much. Like, he's very good. They put a bunch of money into the offensive line. Like, McPherson, too. Like, it seems like close games, especially. Like,
he's going to make kicks.
Exactly. There's a lot to like about the Bengals.
Huber won that kicking competition at Baby Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, they brought someone in to compete?
Yeah. I think Drew Chrisman, the guy from
Ohio State.
Yeah. I think he was in it. I don't know if it was real competition or not. I don't know if there was another kicker other than Drew Chrisman, but I think there was. And I think it was Drew Chrisman, who I'm a fan of as a human and as a content creator and everything that he does. But I was pulling for Huber hard there. Huber and
I love Huber. He's awesome.
Me too. Huber is my draft class. He played at Cincinnati. I played at West Virginia, obviously Big East schools. He and I got to know each other through that. I talked to him one warm-ups. I was like, we're just kind of getting to know each other at West Virginia, and we had a game. It was probably a primetime game, if I had to guess. Cincinnati was good. They had Brian Kelly. And he goes, when did you start kicking or whatever? And I just had started punting, I think, for West Virginia. It just happened mid-season. And I told him, like, oh, yeah, I started punting, like, actually 2 weeks ago. Like, actually, this rollout style, like, probably 2 weeks ago. I was like, when did you start? He was like, when I was 14, I started punting. I'm like, well, Jesus, quite an advantage. All right, I'm going to watch this guy. Like, I watched Huber. And I got better because I watched fucking Kevin Huber, even though he was a lefty. And then I got a chance, obviously, at the Pro Bowl. We were there at the same time, hang out with him, had some drinks with him. I fucking love that guy. I'm a big Kevin Huber fan. Went to high school in Cincy, college in Cincy, has been a Bengal now for what, fucking 12 years, 13 years. What a legend that dude is.
Lefty. The old lefty punter, the old Bill Belichick trick, right?
Old Bill Belichick trick. He kind of stopped doing that.
Now he's got Jake Bailey because whenever he was doing it, there was only like one or two in the entire NFL. Now it's like there's more, so returners aren't like startled that the balls go in the other direction. So Bill Belichick was like, all right, we don't have to just have lefties. I'm about pissed off with people doing this.
Yeah, like Ryan Allen.
If you can hear a little sense out of my voice, because I said like, Brett Kern's going to go Buffalo. Brett Kern fucking, like, one of the greatest punters of all time. And everybody's like, Brandon Beane only takes left-footed punters. I'm like, Brandon Beane has a brain. Okay, I'm assuming that is not how this is going to go. But that was the thing with Bill for a long time because there was only like one or two.
Yeah.
So whenever you would show up, it was an extra thing that the other team had to prepare for. Just one more thing that the team that was playing against Patriots had to think about, had to bring in a guy. But now it's like much more common situation. So I think that's why it has kind of died off a little bit.
Yeah, it was like 10, 15 years. And then in the Super Bowl against the Rams, it kind of was like Ryan Allen versus Johnny Hecker. And then the year after that, after Ryan Allen had like 3 punts of 60 yards in the Super Bowl, a couple of them obviously, rolled and got the
Doesn't
right
matter.
bounce. Yeah.
No yard left behind.
Still in the books, but then Jake Bailey came in and beat him out. And Bailey it feels like the first, right-footed punter since 2008 or something.
He bombs fucking balls.
Crushes them.
This guy doesn't leave the ground either. I don't understand it. I don't understand how he does it.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
He's a beast. And he wore for the brand.
For the brand cleats last year. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Stanford, good dude, kills the ball, though.
Yeah.
So much fun. So much fun to watch him kick a ball. But Sam Martin ends up getting that job with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
He's a righty. So we're back in the game, I guess, in Buffalo. Righties are allowed to punt in Buffalo, New York. Let's go to the phones. We're supposed to do that 22 minutes ago.
Hey, what was old buddy doing when he punted the ball 25 yards down the field in the college game?
A South Carolina State guy?
Awesome.
He's awesome.
That was amazing.
That tweet of them saying, what was this? And I quote it as awesome. Like, hey, listen, I don't know. It was certainly not legal. You're not allowed to punt the ball past the line of scrimmage, which he will learn that lesson in a big way last night.
Yeah, he will.
Right.
But I guess he converted on a 4th and 8 earlier in the drive, that same drive with the same thing. We saw this come last year. He was running all the way up to the line, whether or not he decided or thought he could make a first down. He would punt late. It was awesome to watch, and That's where Shaq Leonard went to school.
Mm-hmm.
So I posted about him. Then Shaq Leonard hit me up. He's like, hey, this dude's awesome. Great athlete, obviously. Great punter, a good guy. So I remember this guy from last year. I'm happy on their opening night. He decided to fucking say, hey, those who thought that I maybe have slowed down, I have not. I have sped up. Him running 8 yards down the field on a 4th and 18 and murdering a ball and it not getting blocked, I think is incredibly impressive, but against the rules, which is a damn shame. We should see more of that, AJ.
Do you think guys were even trying to block it? They were trying to like this dude. He can't punt the ball down here.
Well, this is kind of like whenever a quarterback pump fakes 7 yards down the field and gets everybody to like kind of jump. He used to get them. I wonder if he'll start like fake pump. He should. He should. I don't know how often it's going to work.
Sure.
Against other guys that have like a scheme to block said type of punt. But I think that dude's athletic enough to do whatever the fuck he wants. I love him. I think he wore a hoodie under his pads last year. I fucking love him. I forget his name. I should know his name, but I fucking love that guy.
Little stuff like that too is like, which I forgot about, is like why college football is awesome, because you never see that shit in the NFL, obviously, but it is nice. Like some of these smaller schools seeing it. I'm excited for this weekend.
So in college and on a punt, everybody, and I've said this numerous times, so I don't want to sound
repetitive,
like a mark.
All right, we're gonna
shut up.
Ignorant. Repetitive is the right thing.
Okay.
All right.
Not like a fucking mark.
Jeez.
Okay. I apologize that AJ even said that before I'm about to. I apologize to the information I'm about to say.
Okay.
Because AJ shouldn't have said that before the said information gets said. So in college, the punting rules are different than the NFL rules. That is why you see a lot of the rollout punts, like the guy from Pitt last night who just hung on to that rock as long as he possibly could. I think he did not see or expect old buddy to come late. CJ Donaldson Jr., I believe, was the one who did the block. Or
same number. Who's number 12?
Same number. Don't know if it was him or not. If it is, the guy might win a fucking Heisman.
Sure.
He's unbelievable freshman or running back for West Virginia as a guy. I think he's playing special teams as well. But that punter was holding on to the ball as long as possible, because in college, everybody is allowed to cover the punt, leave, and go past the line of scrimmage before the ball is kicked. So the longer you delay by going to the right, the longer you can kind of extend your motion, the further down the field your coverage team can get, which means what? No return at all. If they're going to catch it, it'll be a fair catch. And if it gets on the ground, they're not going to catch it because there's literally 4 guys normally right around it. So it's a return killer, basically taking your time and doing this. He did not see old buddy come off late. This is an Aussie rules thing that has been adapted into American football. We called it rugby for a long time because we didn't know that Australian rules football existed.
Yes.
And we didn't know because the commentators kept calling it a rugby kick. It's actually an Aussie rules kick. And Aussies are the reason why it has come into the American game for so much. Now, the reason why there's so many more Aussies in college than there is in the NFL is there's only 32 jobs, obviously, but there's a very different style of punting needed for the NFL because only 2 people are allowed to leave the line of scrimmage before the ball is punted, and those 2 people are the furthest outside guys, the ones on each side. Those are the only 2 that are allowed to leave the line of scrimmage. That's why whenever you see a double team on the gunners, it's such a big deal because those 2 are the only motherfuckers that are allowed to cover before the ball is kicked, which probably takes about 2 seconds from snap to kick. So you have to have a much higher ball, a much bigger hang time, or you got to have a gunner that's a fucking dog. And if you do, you try to keep that guy around for as long as you can, a la Slater in New England and a couple others around the NFL. Bethel as well, who was Miami Dolphin now, formerly the Cardinals and the Patriots. So that is why you see the rollout punt in college and you don't see it really in the NFL because the rules are built for that to have a much higher success rate in college with your coverage team getting down the field than it is in the NFL. And I will take my professor cap off and leave it right at that, AJ.
Do you think, though, do you think the college game could change to the NFL rules on punt because they want more returns because those are very exciting for people? We don't really get to see that much.
That would be an easy rule to change to get.
Because they wouldn't be doing that Aussie punt anymore then.
I did a couple like semi-Aussies in the NFL, couple rollouts.
Yeah.
I hit one against Green Bay that might still be going. I mean, I fucking murdered it. I think it was a penalty. No, roughing the punter afterwards.
Hell yeah.
Because you're allowed to rough the punter because if I act like I'm going to run, I am a runner, not a punter. So like that's another reason why the NFL can't.
We can hit the punter, but you can't hit him late, like after he lets it go, though.
Yes, that's what happened. So I punted. I was running. I punted. I think, if I do recall, and it was the former Illinois coach. It was a special.
Ron Zook.
It was Ron Zook for the Green Bay Packers. He was guy. They did a pull shoot. They did a fucking. They cheated. They did a pull shoot, and the guy hit me, I think, late. So Tom McMahon's dad, or Mitt's dad, Tom, was not happy. I mean, you're talking motherfucking across the field to the Zook. I think they had settled their differences since then, but I think I did it once against Green Bay. I did once against Denver. I didn't hit it well at all. We tried it a couple times because in college, I got to the point where I could do that, and then I would hit this missile, like this low missile that it was sick. To be honest. It was sweet. Yeah, I've hit a couple of them that are probably still going. I hit one at UPMC whenever I was very hungover in some off season. There was a Coles kicking camp happening at UPMC training center in Pittsburgh, and we had destroyed the South Side the night before. And I was asked to come speak to these like kickers, punters that were at this camp. And I should not have been speaking to anybody, so I showed up late. I did not want to speak to them. I gave a couple of high fives, but I started fucking around kicking some balls, and I hadn't hit a rugby ball in some time. So I was like, or an Aussie rule ball, sometimes. So I like rolled out to the right a little bit, and I hit it, and I hit that thing cleaner than I've ever hit a ball in my life. And it hit the top of the fucking UPMC building, and it sounded like an actual bomb went off. Everybody stopped. Everybody in the building stopped, and it was the drunk guy in the middle of the field. Sorry. And then I just walked away. I think I was in jorts. I think I was wearing jorts at the time. But then that's why we did it the next season. I was like, hey, Tom, I think we should think about this. Because Tom's like, if you can hit a ball 75 yards in the air, like, we should do that. We should figure out how to block. We should try to block for that. But I couldn't get it as consistent enough. And with the NFL blocking, guys running like 4.4s, being like 6'5", there was no real comfort. There's no real comfort in me not getting killed doing it every time.
That's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, it was. We tried.
The option of it.
We tried. We tried our best. We did it against Miami too, down in Miami. That same game that Charlie Whitehurst blew his hamstring out.
Oh yeah.
We moved tackle over. We even went tackle over, so it looked like a college lineup too. And it was just going to be. I was just going to hit it as far as I fucking could. It was like, hey, it was the last game of the season. I think it was the last game of the season, so it was like, let's fucking try some shit for like next year. Let's see what we can do. And I think I caught one of them. I think one of them almost got blocked. The other coach knew what we were doing. He was a former Rutgers guy, former Rutgers coach. So he knew exactly what we were doing. He brought the guy off the far end.
Shiano, man, coaches.
No, it wasn't Shiano. It was
at Rutgers.
The guy was, it was a special teams guy. I knew him from Rutgers. When I was at West Virginia, he was at Rutgers. Then he was Miami Dolphins special teams coordinator. So after the game, there was a full, hey, look like college again. I was like, yeah, and your fucking guy almost killed me.
Took my leg off.
Because that's like, they knew to bring the backside, like a backside sprinter is how you fucking just murder that. Because punter can't see it, and that guy probably not getting blocked because everybody's blocking front side. So everybody's kind of motioning right. So the back left is where you are.
And you're only going to roll to the right, too, because you're not going to punt rolling left, right?
Unless you're a lefty, then obviously reverse it. Then you obviously reverse it. And that's why they're like, oh, this guy can punt with both feet. It's like, it doesn't matter. People would know immediately upon. It's great. It's very athletic, but I don't think it's really changing the game at all.
Darren Rizzi, I believe is his name, was at Rutgers special teams coach and Dolphins special teams coach. So
yeah, that's it.
There it is.
That's the guy.
That's him. Good guy. I mean, we had great conversations throughout my time in college and in the NFL, but he almost fucking.
Hey, Con, is the Patriots' old special teams legend? He was coaching. Is he still coaching?
Old special teams.
Back in the day, like he was there when early. He probably has 2 or 3 rings.
He's very famous.
He's awesome.
Vinny talks about him.
He's not there anymore. I know that.
He's the godfather of this whole special teams.
He was with the Giants for a little bit. He was coaching.
So he's been
places.
with Belichick for a while then.
Yeah, he
With
was.
the Giants, probably Cleveland. But no, they kept the same special teams coordinator that replaced Joe Judge when he left. And that's why Joe Judge is the QB coach.
Joe Judge. We had an onside kick on him. They fucked us.
Yeah, he's a dog when it comes to special teams.
He's very good, yeah. He was also on the fucking field.
Is he coaching special teams for the Patriots too?
No, they kept the same guy. I forget what.
He's probably running cards though or some shit. Don't you?
Got to be helping, right?
Yeah, I'd assume.
Yeah, the guy who's the special teams coordinator now was like his protege.
understudy.
Yeah, when Judge was with the Patriots, and they had a very good special teams after Judge left. They were the number one special teams unit in 2019.
Brad Seeley,
2020.
I'm thinking Izzo from back in the day.
Really? I don't know.
Izzo, he was a special teamer with the Patriots, and then he's been coaching. I don't know why I thought he was one of my favorite players.
How about fucking Bubba Ventrone, dude?
Yeah.
I mean,
What about him?
Jim Irsay, one of his first answers, or one of the first things he said whenever we talked about the team that they had last year versus this year, he was like, I had to look around and see what we had the best of. We had the best running back. We had the best offensive line. We had the best special teams coordinator, Bubba Ventrone. Like, said his name. I was like, God damn. Bubba's a Pittsburgh guy, I think he played for the Steelers for a bit. He was with the Patriots most of the time, though. I think he ended with the Steelers back at home. I think. His brother might have played as well.
Ross.
But I told Bubba as soon as I saw him, I'm like, hey, man, Irsay's first answer today basically was that you're the fucking best special teams coordinator in the NFL. So, I mean, I know you're not a businessman. You just want to kind of do the job and do the job right. It's fucking great clip to have just going forward as a fellow Pittsburgh guy.
Yeah, mention him being a head coach,
Right.
in the NFL, not just like a good special teams coordinator, like some guy that will continue to rise the ranks.
Pittsburgh guy
Did Joe Judge hurt that though for special teams guys getting head coaching gigs?
Harbaugh. Harbaugh's still a guy.
That's right.
Harbaugh's still a guy.
I think Darren Simmons could do it too. Cincinnati special teams coach. He's interviewed for some head gigs.
I love that man. Why is he? He's just because he's such a good special teams coordinator. They just keep him around. He never wants to leave.
Yeah, honestly, he's awesome. Like I told him day one, first meeting. I'm like, hey man, this is my 10th year. I've learned a lot just sitting in this meeting. Like you, yeah, he just has a great rapport. He knows how to handle guys. He works his balls off. I don't know. Maybe he will actually get a head coaching job at some point.
He's been like 3-4 head coaches though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been there for a long time.
Yeah, and he looks like he's 35. He's got this fucking visor on. He really
goes crazy every game. Like he's
Danny
awesome.
Smith could be a head coach.
Who's that?
Danny Smith.
We hope.
I mean,
I fucking hope they let Danny Smith be a head coach, the Steelers special teams coordinator.
Absolute legend.
Hey, Danny's going to be shown this by numerous people, whether it's his kids or people around the building. Hey, Danny, why don't you chew some fucking gum and go get some head coaching interviews? Okay, let's go, pal.
What do you say?
Yeah. And don't forget about Richie Bisaccia.
I was going to say, do you think that he'll get another head coaching opportunity?
I did forget about Rich
If he
Bisaccia.
can fix the Packers special teams, then
That's going to be a tall task.
Yeah, bingo.
But I think everybody loves that fucking guy, right? Everybody loves that guy. That's what it takes. Special teams coordinators, and this is always chatted about. When Rich Bisaccia was named the interim head coach, the talking point for everybody that has ever been in the NFL was like, well, special teams coach has talked to the whole team. Offense talks to the offense mostly. Defense talks to defense mostly. The special teams coordinator's got to reach every single room, and even the big guys, because field goal unit and field goal block. Like, that is the talking point, but it's real. Like, they have to be able to relate to so many motherfuckers. There are so many different motherfuckers playing in the NFL at different positions. From corner to offensive lineman, special teams coordinators have to be able to relate to and reach and get to buy in on something that none of them like. So I think more special teams coordinators would be good head coaches, but it's going to take a couple of the top guys to really get that opportunity to prove it, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you laid it out perfectly. They do. They have to hold guys accountable. They have to be there and make them care about something that is secondary to most every player. Like, hey, no, I'm supposed to be a starter, man. I'm supposed to be on the field. I'm supposed to be a corner or wideout, whatever. And the coach said, yeah, you're supposed to, bud, but this is the only way you're getting on the field is if you show that you can play on special teams here. I know you haven't done it in a while, but you got to buy in and do it. And it's cool to see when they actually do it. You see guys that maybe we're like, oh, come on, man, I'm above that. You know, guys come in sometimes and think they're above special teams, and then seeing them buy in, understand the process, and respect the coach and the whole thing. I'm like, all right, it's cool, man. It's a tough gig, though, to get somebody that doesn't want to be there to eventually start playing very well on special teams.
And has never played it before. Not only do they
it's a different world.
Yeah, it's a different sport. Not only do they not want to be there, they've never played it before, but the coach has to somehow give them a conversation in a proper, laid-out fashion. Some guys very direct. Some guys make things a joke, and the hard stuff, make it a little bit joke. Let's bypass that. Some guys have different ways to make people realize, hey, this is your life. But it is a difficult thing to say, hey, you are a starting linebacker. in Dwayne Johnson's league. Okay, in this league, you're a left guard on the punt team. So that's up like that message with getting that person to buy in and then teaching them. They have to teach them fundamentals, like going back to having how do you do a 3-point stance? How do you do that? That's what people have to do. They have to teach fucking adults that are good enough to make it to the NFL at other positions how to do a new job. All right, you need to do a pass set, basically. Stay right on the fucking line. What do you mean? Like, kick your leg. Yeah, you're close there. And guys like, I backpedaled before. I've done this before. I've never had to fucking Okay, yeah, and if you take one wrong step, we're getting a punt block and we lose the game on you. You don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, this is great. Yeah, and also get a hand up. And if a twister comes, you got to get them. I've never done any of this before. We know. Yeah, we got to give them 2 days. Figure it the fuck out. Okay. Yeah. Like that is what special teams is. I don't know how it doesn't become a fucking explosion more. You know.
Also, though, that guy that you just that coach taught him to kick slide and do all that. Okay, let's say you go into the game first quarter. That guy, whoever's starting in that guy's position gets hurt. He gets bumped into the starting lineup. This guy comes off a punt team. I got to coach up some other kid, put him in a guard who's probably never done it.
Well, not only that, the guy that was trying to learn how to fucking punt set did 0 studying for the game, but now he has to run punt reps, kickoff reps, and now he's on the defense that he did not because
he's begging to get off something. Man, coach, just get me off kickoff at least something.
I'll do a punt. I'll do one punt. I'll do one punt for you. Jack Doyle was the fucking best, man. Jack Doyle is my favorite story because we picked him up. He got released by the Titans. He's a local guy here. He comes in, he's a tight end, didn't really talk to anybody, just super quiet, hardworking guy. But day one, he was good at everything. Like tight end, he was running the right routes. He was doing everything right. Special teams, he was just doing his thing. And he made his team being like my left wing or whatever. Pretty big job, especially because most of my punts going this way, even my punts to the left. So he's on the back side of that. I need it. He's got this big beard, good guy. We have a good rapport. And then he started playing on offense a lot more because he wasn't, and they didn't take him off. And he's not the type of guy that would bitch at all to get off. So it's almost like he was certainly taken advantage of, but we knew he'd do his job. Him openly coming up to me being like, hey, let's get this one off quick. And like while I'm jogging on the field. Like, hey, this one, I'm not covering it, and we need to get this one off. It's like, I got you, dude.
Out of bounds.
Hey, I got you, dude. Yeah, like that was, I would laugh like in his face almost while he's fucking full on dying. And you know, you watch the film back, obviously Jack locked his guy up. Jack got his coverage lane, like he did his whole thing. But that's literally his thoughts before a punt, like, oh my God, everything I've done means nothing if I fucking give up a block right now. If I give up a block right now, nobody will remember anything that I fucking did. It's a nightmare. I don't know how it isn't a bigger fuck up every single game in the NFL, in college, in anything. Because the amount of moving pieces, it's just any play could be the fucking end of it, honestly.
Well, that's like how common is it for like the Packers who like their special teams has kind of been like the, hey, you can't let this be the reason you lose a game late for like, can that even change? Like you even if you hire Rich Bisaccia, like can that change?
You think so? Yeah, because it's the little things, right? It's all the little
Absolutely
things.
Can change,
I
think.
And it's a whole new mindset. You just got to get people to buy in that they're doing it. So I don't know what the culture is about special teams around that building. I assume it's been very negative for a long time. Rich Bisaccia, from what everybody said, is like guy everybody rallies around and loves.
Yeah.
So if he's the leader of the group, like I think you can change it. I think you can. Don't you, AJ?
100%. And those guys are super detail oriented. The great special teams coaches, like I said, Keith Armstrong, who's down in Tampa Bay now, I think is a special teams genius. He's had some head coaching interviews as well. They're so detail oriented, and they get just how they set things up. I'm like, oh, this makes so much sense now. You're not killing us, but I understand completely. Hey, if I'm running down on kickoff and I see him setting up this way, I know this is the returns going this way. Okay, they're setting up like that. The returns going up the middle. Like they teach little things like that to get guys to understand what's happening.
It's like the psychology almost of it.
Yeah, why? Okay, what's happening? Why? I think they do a good job breaking it down. Okay, they got 3 returns. If you see this in front of you, you attack his face. If you see him double, you split him. If you see this, you got to go on his left side because you know they're trying to cut you off to get to that side of the field.
I think just like any coaching, you explain the why, people will buy in a lot more. You know, like you explain like why we're doing what we're doing. Hey, this person is going to flash you. They're going to flash block. They're going to think you're going to think they're hitting you. They're flashing you. And then they're going to go and decleat this guy right over here, your guy, one of our other guys. So when he comes to flash you, need you to chip him. Okay? Need you to chip that guy because he's going to go fucking kill our person over there. And if he does that, look at the fucking, You see the lane that happens here. It's like that type of stuff is what I think makes you better, makes you worse. And if you can get people to buy into those things, I think we had the fourth down army for a bit. And it was like people, I think our squad like enjoyed going out and doing it.
Took pride. We take pride in it, yeah.
Yeah, we were fucking really good. I was really lucky to be surrounded by incredible guys. We had a core unit of like 6 guys that were backup safety, backup running back, backup linebacker, tight end. And it was like, we don't know what's going to happen on the offensive defensive side of the ball, but we know in our particular unit, we are going to beat the fuck out of people. And we did. We didn't give up a return yard for like 13 weeks. 14 weeks or something like that. But every single week, it was like a celebration, though.
But you had the same guys, though, right? Like that's how at Ohio State, Coach Tressel says from day one, punt, the most important play in football. I played left wing for 4 straight years at Ohio State in the old school pocket, kick slide, stay on the hip. And my freshman year, I'm sitting out there playing left wing, and we went 14-0 and won the national championship somehow. And we had a lot of very close games. I'm like, I probably should not have been there. Like, that's a tough spot. If I take one extra kick slide, I don't stay on the hip, who at the time was Matt Wilhelm, All-American middle linebacker, playing tackle right there that year. If I get off his hip, they go right there. That's a great little lane for them to run and block this punt. We may not win a national championship. Like I was like, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't think about that in the moment.
How about this? Yes, I look back on a lot of shit, and I'm like, man, I was so nervous. Oh my God, I had to be so. How did I do that? You, by the way, thanks for buying into fucking special teams.
I loved it. I took pride. We took a lot of pride in like our kick slide. I'm like, man, I'd be like, I'll be with you, man. I promise you, I will not leave your hip. That's all. Just don't leave your guy. Don't leave your guy out to dry and stay with you. They can't block it because they're not fast enough to go over the edge and get a block.
So your discipline that you maintained through your entire life, back in the day, it used to be your discipline of talking, right? He was a mute.
That's right.
Now you're disciplined in your meal and your workout and your robotic days. But you never, in that national championship against the U, right?
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there were some dogs
Pretty
coming
good
off the
athletes,
edge.
yeah.
You fall for one, and you just kick out like this, and he hits you with an up and under, bang. Block. I think the stats were like block kick. If you block a kick, you win like 82% of the games or something like that. And who knows?
You're making me kind of nervous, actually, thinking going back, put myself in that game.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't know how anybody does it, because if I'm kicking and the guy gives me one, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go get it. And then literally the game's over. You lost the game. You just lost the game. Thank you for coming. Hope you've enjoyed your football life. You just lost the game. That is kind of how it is viewed and kind of the outcome of it. And it's so minute, and you have to buy in. I think it can be changed, is what we're saying. We think it can be changed. Yeah, and Bisaccia feels like the guy.
Yeah, he's got a PhD.
All right, let's go to the phone line. We're supposed to do this 46 minutes ago. Good conversation on this.
Special teams rant.
It was good, because last night, there was a lot of people, why is this punter hold on? Ball's so fucking long. A lot of that. It was like, well, he's probably told to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. That's why they have him doing it. That's his style. I believe he's an Aussie. Assumes, looks like he's an Aussie. If not, he's American and does Aussie very well. And I don't think he saw that guy coming. It was a big moment, though. I was like, oh,
huge moment.
Block punt. I'm like, oh, we won the game.
Yeah.
That was
literally like, oh, we won the game.
Start the half.
And obviously on the other side of stats, unless it's 100 or nothing.
Stats are also not very good for winning the game.
Fucking Bryce Ford Wheaton. I appreciate you on the Mountaineers, cuz you're fucking really good. And I knew your grandpa, Coach Ford, Garrett Ford, senior, they showed him at West Virginia running back. He was a stallion of a man. Bryce Ford Wheaton's coming back.
Yeah, for sure.
That was devastating. He had 2 tuds, big time special team. This guy's a fucking guy.
I think West Virginia can play.
You know what, though? If you're going to get the ball 50 times a game like that kid's going to, some shit's going to go wrong, Bryce. Fucking eat it and move on, bub. Don't you fucking worry about it. Now, that running back, Donaldson,
he's a dog.
He's a freshman.
Yeah.
6'2", 2 something.
Big tight end, they said at the beginning. And they're like, but they had some sort of inkling that he wasn't just playing tight end.
Yeah, he's going to get the ball,
Yeah.
We should have kept feeding. There was that fourth and couple inches in the fourth quarter.
50.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
6 minutes left.
Perfect punt afterwards.
Yeah, what was
You're playing against 17 in the country.
Rivalry game.
Yeah.
On the road.
Your team is brand new. Literally, your team is brand new. All the people that are making plays for you right now, I mean, except for the diehards that are living in Morgantown, have no fucking idea who these guys are. Stills on defense, dog. Love him. Thankful he's back. But other than that, I didn't really know who anybody was. I haven't paid attention close enough. You get that? I think you gotta go.
Yeah, have to.
I think you gotta
Have to.
Hey, everybody can judge hindsight. I understand. They go on, they pin him, they block that, they do the thing. He's a genius. That ends up not happening, but that was the big conversation piece after the game was, what's the deal, bro? Why didn't we go bold?
4th and 1.
Feels like we got our entire offensive line back, and we got a new run back that's bigger, faster, stronger than everybody on the field.
Graham Harrell's calling
He
plays.
said after the game, he said if I was put back in that situation, I'd do it again.
See,
There
can't
you
do
go.
that. That's what we're talking
There you
about with
go.
Aaron earlier.
There you
Allowed
go.
to learn. Allowed to learn from your mistakes. Allowed to evolve with more information and knowledge. So he knows how the outcome was. And he'd still go
I'd
back and do the
fucking do
same
it
thing.
again.
Can't do it.
Do it again
That's
today.
like me go, you know what, I'll go back to 13-9, pull that one harder left.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I pull that one harder left, the first one, and then the second one, I'm hitting that right into the back of one of our offensive linemen so hard that I actually injure him so that it's worse.
Yeah.
That's what that's. So why do you say that? Why do you do that?
Coach Brian.
Means he'll do it again next time, right?
But will there be another backyard brawl where nobody knows your team? That's what I'm saying. So, like saying, why did he say, you want the pit, though? This
Yeah,
fucking,
true.
you also want to West Virginia. Also want to West Virginia.
Maybe that's what the book said to do.
Is that why, Nick? Did you listen to the full thing?
I
Why?
don't know, I just saw a transcribe quote where he said, put in that situation, I'd do it again.
Okay.
It's hard to trust to climb, Neil. If you say, you go right back down to the campsite that had a bear eating everybody. Okay? I don't know why we trust to climb. Once we get past it, you just say, yeah, I'll go right back through that bear. Because you know why?
Why's that?
Because his team's going to be hardened by this.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
So that's why he'd go back and get the same exact outcome. His team's going to be hardened by this, and we're going to carry it through the rest of the season. Still a lot of games to be played and a lot of growth to be had for this Mountaineer team. That's why Neil Brown said, I trust to climb. The fuck?
Yeah,
dude?
I don't know if that guy's ever reaching the summit, unfortunately.
What? He had fire last night. Did you see
He
that
did.
fire yet?
He did. He did.
You want to win that Thursday game, too. As a college
Yeah.
kid, that Thursday game, if you win, you get the whole weekend as a college student. You can go hang out.
Was first weekend in college, they're going to have a good time in Morgantown regardless. But you're right. It would have been much better vibes.
Yeah. A lot easier to get into that good time.
And all those insufferable Pitt Panthers. Oh, my God. For the rest of the fucking year. You know what I mean?
You hate Pitt, huh?
I partied there. I had a good time there. But, yeah, worst night of my life was because of that fucking school, So I will remember that. CFO Phil is like a super pit mark. It's fucking disgusting.
Did he go there?
Yeah, his whole fucking family did. Now he's
Coach
brainwashing his kids into thinking there's no other school. It's like, hey, little Phil, wait till Uncle Pat gets old. You're around 14, 15 years old. You know
He's a
what I mean?
hockey player, right?
Stud. He's a great athlete.
So he's gonna be in like Alaska with a host family when he's 12.
Minnesota probably, but also Phil is a hockey coach. So,
Oh, okay. So Phil, okay.
you know what I mean?
Can Phil skate backwards?
He can stop too. It's crazy.
He can spray ice. I gotta figure that out.
Like Mendoza. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah.
Louis.
Luis Mendoza,
Mendoza.
Fastest guy you've ever seen, blue line to blue line.
Couldn't stop.
Yeah.
Then he could. In the ice. Yeah.
Took me a minute.
Thank you,
There
Hans.
Took me a minute.
There you go.
Mendoza. Holy shit.
Paul.
I'm so proud of me right now.
Pretty good.
Thank you. Let's go to the phones. Thank you. You guys have all had some good ones as well. But that one felt really good right there. Let's go to Andrew in Los Angeles. Andrew, how's it going, pal? Sorry, we've been saying we're going to literally go to the phones for 51 minutes now. On a 5 Energy phone line, go to 5energy.com
Use promo code McAfee for 10% off.
and get one of those
pallet.
gas station
Yeah, the big
stands.
Don't be a fool.
Yeah,
Order
no.
a carton, get a pallet.
Don't do one at a time. That's what the losers are doing.
Drink them all at once.
And no,
Hey.
you don't have to. That's the great thing about 5 Hour Energy. You don't have to. You only need one. And see you later. We're having a great afternoon. What do you want to talk about, Andrew in Los Angeles? How's the traffic?
Traffic's terrible as always. Hey, Pat, how we doing? Keep it moving. Happy Feel Good Friday.
Love that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Andrew's a dog.
He's a dog.
He's a dog. Sounds like a little bit of an aggressive
I'm a dog.
Hey, what do you want to talk about, dog?
Hey, I want to talk about my favorite team, lifelong fan. Jerry Jones owned and operated Dallas Cowboys. Usually when we have high expectations, we do pretty bad. Like a couple years ago when A.J. Hawk had us in the Super Bowl, I think we won like 6 games.
Franchise QB got hurt.
Then next quarterback
Yeah,
got
but,
decapitated and nobody helped him up.
That's right.
Anyways, we seem to have low expectations. People on Hammer Dahn and ESPN saying the Eagles going to win the division. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. And follow-up question, what do the boys think about Andrew Tate?
Thank you, Andrew. Andrew Tate's the guy that got kicked off the internet?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, great question, Andrew. Is that Andrew Tate?
Could have been.
Could have been.
Didn't sound like him, but could have been.
I don't know who this person is, but I would enjoy the fact if somebody was getting kicked off the internet that they decided to call into live shows on the internet.
That'd be sweet.
That would be cool.
That would be hilarious.
Be a good move.
That'd be an Alex Jones move.
Yeah.
What?
My name's Kyle. Kyle from Kansas. We are so broke. Just lying, yeah. What a fucking menace. Andrew Tate, I don't know anything about him, though. I seen he was kicked off the internet. I'm sure it'll all work out. I'm sure it'll all work out.
What did he do? I've seen a lot of his, whatever his rants. What officially got him kicked off the internet? Do we know?
So I don't even know what his rants are. Is he a political guy? Is he a pop culture guy? Is he a sports guy?
I thought he was like
Says
some
John
former
was dance
boxer
electronic
type guy.
Dance? He's a DJ?
and
I don't know
martial
if he
arts
is now.
I think he
kickboxing.
was a
kickboxer.
Kickboxing champion. He was a big no ma'am guy. Very pro man.
Oh, okay.
Possession, ownership of women, stuff like that.
Oh, great. So Andrew in LA wants to know what our thoughts are on Andrew Tate.
I guess.
Sounds like glowing reviews from the back room here about who he is.
Sure.
The internet kicked him off.
One brother, one
That's
sister.
just what I'm reading from headlines. Like, I've never seen his content.
I'm sure Andrew Tate would be pissed if that was what the headline. Nonetheless, we don't fucking know who he is. I don't know who he is. I'm sure it'll all get worked out. I'm sure it'll all end up great too. I'm sure there'll be no drama at all around it. The kicked off the internet thing is interesting though.
Yeah, you got to do a lot of stuff for that to happen.
Different guys are.
Yeah,
Some Nelk guys got their YouTube, right? Steve.
Yeah, I think so. He's trying to give back.
Do they give it back then? How does that work?
I don't know. I don't understand any of it because
That's a big deal for one of those guys to get your channel pulled.
yes, for sure, but just to be kicked off the internet, definitely a big deal to get your channel pulled. Yes, we have gotten strikes from people that we thought we were close to getting our shit pulled. We would not enjoy that at all because YouTube, for all of its gripes that everybody has for them, we've been able to operate as an independent show with zero. Like it's fucking. We are very thankful. So it would be huge for us. And there's channels that are much larger and obviously much better than ours that would depend upon it every single day in their business and their life and everything like that. But I don't know. How do they just ban you from the internet?
Yeah, that process doesn't even make any sense to me.
So is it your IP address? Like how? I
It's
don't.
just platforms, right?
No, I think, like Andrew Tate, I think it's like Instagram. It's a lot of stuff. I don't think it's just one.
So he cannot sign up for another account. He cannot create a new email. He cannot do anything to get another.
Last time we saw this was Alex Jones.
What?
And how did that work? Because his.
Still have no idea.
I don't even know how it worked. I just kind of went with, oh, he's banned.
What if he makes a new email
He's
account?
banned.
I remember like
could he
Alex
open a
Jones
new
tried
one?
creating new accounts, and they would just delete it right away.
Oh, so they're actively seeking Andrew Tate's new accounts,
Bad
finding
again
him.
though, but like people would upload Alex Jones videos, and you'd see it on YouTube regardless. It makes
But
no
where were
sense
his
to me.
videos
Yeah, but
being
he doesn't
showcased to
have-
anybody at? On his
His
website?
website,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he wasn't banned from the internet then?
No, just
He's just banned from social media.
Yeah, you'll still find him in reels. There'll be clips of him on podcasts and different shows.
But somebody else posted it, not him.
It was all other people, I think, putting it up.
So that's what it means whenever you're kicked off the internet, you're not able to have a platform on these social media sites.
exactly.
You can still get access to the internet and create your own website and everything like that.
Right.
Okay.
So it's the next
Wi-Fi
level
ban
shadow
would be
ban,
cool.
right?
Yeah, it's a super duper
It's
shadow
a super
ban.
duper shadow ban.
Yeah, it's an actual ban. It's not
Yeah,
a shadow.
right,
It's
right.
a real-
Correct.
nothing shadow.
It's a full ban.
Yeah, so it's a real shadow ban.
ban.
The shadow ban, they just act like it didn't happen. The actual ban, they come out and say it did
Hey,
happen.
yeah, this is very real.
Okay, got it. I've been shadow banned a couple times on
Oh,
a
yeah?
couple different platforms. I wonder
what?
why. I don't know. Oh, I know why.
You used the word dude.
You did use
Yeah,
Yeah, one
that
thing.
was.
Oh yeah, that was on the NFL's
Yeah.
comments.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. I wonder if Omar's going to shadow ban me on the Sports Center account.
If you use bruh enough, he
No,
might.
I'm starting to comment on the Sports Center Instagram a little bit. I've been doing a lot of "he is, isn't he" to Omar. You know, Omar, Sports Center, Bleacher Report, Check Down,
What?
Yeah.
NFL,
You name it,
House of
really.
Highlights.
House of Highlights. He's running them all.
You got shadow banned for saying dude?
That's what they said.
Yeah, hate speech.
Yeah, man.
That's hate speech?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was the whole thing. Remember, I told the NFL social media person I was ready. We didn't have a deal done with NFL Films at that time. We were talking. I was willing to sacrifice it to take a stand, though.
100%. Yep.
There's no reason for me to be banned from the NFL comments. So I just made a statement to the NFL social media person that they've done fucking nothing for the league. You've been handed something, and shut the fuck up, basically. If you want to ban me, somebody that played in there covers it every fucking day. Like, I don't comment ever. So, like, that's why I didn't find out that I'd been, shadow banned. But it was something with Matt Ryan happening. I'm like, I want everybody to know that I'm fucking on board with this guy. I want everybody to know. First time I was actually excited to comment because I guess this is what people do on Instagram. I don't do enough of it. Like, commenting is how, it's like a good time on there, I guess. I never fucking do it. No. I do it one time, came see it. 0 likes. So I got upset. And then turned out the NFL told me it wasn't a social media person, so I had to take back. I didn't. I don't. I still don't. I don't take it back. Fuck you, person that banned me.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Yeah, because you definitely did. They told the people that don't understand the platforms that, something must have happened, but they certainly did. And there's no reason to do so, other than just being a fucking punk, I think.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. That's these social media degrees. They're getting jobs.
People like having power, man.
They do. It's little yellow coats running the social media.
Exactly.
Those little yellow jackets. Fucking hate them. The security people.
Like concerts?
Wayland security.
They have all the power.
Oh, yeah.
They do have a lot of power.
They do not. They do not. I will drive right the fuck by. Not even. I'm not even entertaining a convo right now with you. I do not have time.
They don't have a direction.
I'm a bad person. They're just trying to do their job. I get it. Student drivers, I also give them a run around, let them know shit ain't sweet out here. Hey, welcome to the streets.
That's a good learning experience.
Welcome to the streets.
Do that.
Thank you for doing that.
If you do not beep your horn at least once at a student driver, you are not making the course hard enough. Yeah. They are coming into our roads.
Sure.
You're right.
Okay?
Prepare them.
Exactly.
Cut them off, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can't do anything that would require them to be a good driver for you not to get hit. So do with that as you may.
Yeah, egg their car.
They're going
No,
50
you don't
on
egg the student driver car. That's being owned by somebody who's making no money, who's sitting passenger with these people. No.
That'd be such a tough job.
Terrible
What if you were the
job.
instructor? I had they were called on-roads. I don't know what you guys called them. They were 4 hours at a time where I would drive a dude around.
Yep, and that guy fell asleep?
I would have. No, he didn't. I don't know how.
Does your guys' car have the brake pedal? Like the passenger brake pedal?
Yeah, the student driver one, yeah. I think it has to.
It has to.
Yeah.
Ours didn't.
Okay.
Chicago's living dangerously.
Ours didn't either. We could drive our own car, too, for our on-roads. So,
Really?
yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was in my teacher's car. I think about
Our guy definitely had the brake.
Couldn't do it.
My guy fell asleep. Just sleeping.
I wish my guy would have fell asleep.
Yeah, my guy was one of our football coaches, so we just drove around and hung out.
Yep.
Drink beers.
Packed in.
We drove around. He fell asleep.
Like 2 or 3. Like, you got to stay underneath the limit, but then.
Yeah.
Was there direction, though, before he fell asleep? Like, go to this spot?
Yeah, we just went to like some
Dairy Queen or something.
But yeah, parking lot. Yeah,
So just hung out.
he was great. He was
awesome.
probably the best teacher I've ever had.
Stu's great.
No offense,
Still
Miss
sleeping right
Anilovich, Mr. Kearns.
R.I.P.
Who? Do not say that.
Come on.
She's
Who?
not dead.
No. Stu.
Really?
Oh, I think so.
Is that the lady that got bit by the chimp?
No.
Nah,
That's
Her
Miss
Reagan's
Brooke,
hand, that's
dude.
Mrs. Brooke.
Yeah, go Mustangs.
Come on. Yeah, go
Go
Stangs.
Mustangs, dude. We got the
Stangs up.
Foxes tonight, Fox Chapel. The Yuppies taking on the Mustangs. Let's go.
Rivalry week.
Let's go, Mustangs. Every week's rivalry week. We're plumb. We
Goddamn
got
right.
chips on our shoulder against everybody.
Exactly.
Is it purple and gold? Is that your colors?
Damn
Goddamn
right. Shut up, Connor.
Stangs up, baby.
Connor, you went to 4 high schools. None of them were plum.
One of them was plum in my heart.
Let's go to a couple phone calls.
I think I saw Connor wearing a varsity jacket the other day.
I did have my varsity letterman on.
Let's go to Nick in Texas. Nick, what's going on, pal?
Not much, Pat. I was just curious because they were starting to make kickoffs like to the 1 yard line. They did it last night in the West Virginia game, but they're doing it in the NFL. I'm curious if they're going to continuously do that and what's your thoughts on it.
College, it's just the fair catch thing changed everything. If you get the ball in the air down the field, it's going to end up at the 25. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing. I don't know why the balls aren't getting smashed out. In the NFL, they're just right now they're trying to see who can cover, who can't. You'll see teams just blasted through the end zone every time. I mean, that is just something people do. It depends on how your special teams unit is. We were just talking about it. If you got a good group, you want to go ahead and tackle them. You want to go ahead and try to pin them. If you don't, hey, let's give them ball 20, 25, whatever it is. Let's move on. That's kind of how it goes. Is that what you want Mason to do, huh?
Yeah. I mean, hey, whatever it takes. Yeah, exactly. Fucking giving up 6-7 return touchdowns a year.
It's not always easy just to blast the ball through the end zone, by the way.
You sometimes you can't with the wind,
There's some stadiums, where it gets a little difficult. And I'll never forget a couple guys, a kickoff team who also played defense and were just kind of playing a lot of plays. Let's say kickoff fourth quarter or so, middle of the quarter. We're up, let's say 10 at the time. Pretty big defensive drive coming up. Hey, need a touchback here, Pat. Walking by, need a touchback here. Okay? Let's not do anything crazy. I mean, you got it, pal. We're going right into about 10, 15 miles. Hey, I got a full drive coming up next, Pat. Need a touchdown. Just kind of walking off. It's like a real...
I got about 10 plays coming up, and I'm going to be already deathly winded if you put this thing at the 3.
Full sprint, full force, all-out effort. Hold your lane, get double-teamed probably, and then run into a car crash. And then they're spotting the ball. You got to get back up and let's fucking go rush the pass.
As soon as you get up, though, the offense is sprinting onto the field, too. Like that seems to happen when you're in that situation where all of a sudden the offense is real antsy and they want to get to the line as fast as they can.
Can we slow this down a little bit? Hey, hell of a week. We can't thank you all enough. Big thanks to Stephon Diggs, Aaron Rodgers, obviously AJ Hawk, you're the best. Darius Butler in studio all week. Can't wait to get the regular season started. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday was announced for an unprecedented season 3 today. It was a hell of a Friday. You guys got hammered Dahn today?
Yeah, I'm going to piss real quick. We got Picks Friday, giving out all the picks for the weekend.
Okay, sweet.
Thank you for that.
Talks the table. Great job this week. Everybody in the back, fantastic. Ty, your Lou Holtz was really highlight of the week, buddy. I appreciate you.
Ty, I got texts from random people I hadn't heard from in a long time about Lou Holtz. So Ty, you should be proud.
Hell yeah. Universally beloved.
Yeah, James Franklin saw it.
In a world full of fickle fans, that felt to be universally loved. So I want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Hey, you bet. Thanks for letting me do it.
We'll see you guys on Tuesday. We're off Monday. Oh, we're lazy. It's Labor Day.
Yeah.
Golly. All right, see you Tuesday. It's football week. Hell yeah! Football week. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you all so much. Goodbye. Hashtag PMS Feel Good Friday. Screenshot yourself playing the field goal face-off.
Here we go.
Put your cash tag in there and say something nice to somebody, and we'll give 15 people $500.
Okay.
Also, if you play field goal face-off, remember there's only a few days left to get the highest score of the first week. Highest score of the first week on the field goal face-off in the FanDuel face-off app will win a $10,000 first place prize.
Wow.
And then $100 will be given to 100 people with the next highest scores. If there is a tie for the high score, which is going to be difficult because there's a lot of points to be had, that money will be split for the first place one. So screenshot yourself playing field goal face-off. Use the hashtag PMS Feel Good Friday. Put your cash tag in there and say something nice to somebody. Let's have the greatest weekend of all time. See you on Tuesday. Goodbye. We love you and appreciate you all more than you could ever fathom.